Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains,
we speak. Coming to you from the X-Axis, it's John of All Trades with your host, John X.
Welcome to this John of All Trades podcast promo. Each Wednesday, I bring you a brand new interview with someone fascinating and ask the question we all ask when we meet someone new. Hey, what do you do? It's fun, informative, and it's the 2017 Westward Reader's Choice Award winner for Best Denver Podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, and johnofalltrades.us.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
This is Justin Neal with the Average Joe Geek Show. You're listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Pop Culture Con. And you can buy tickets right now for Denver Pop Culture Con. I'm sure they're going to start having announcements soon, as they've started invoicing people. So I'm sure they're going to start announcements really soon. Speaking of Denver Pop Culture Con, if you go on to Real Nerds Podcast and you search under Denver Comic Con 2018, you'll find our interviews from this year at Denver Comic Con. And I listened to all of them. They're actually pretty good. I'm proud of us. We're pretty fun listening to them.
Were you able to handle? Most of them were hosted by Zach or James.
Yeah, did well. I mean, mine were better, more focused, better job asking the questions. But you guys did great. You just turned it down when I said you guys
That's
did great.
That's true. I just deleted the part where
you didn't delete the part where I made fun of you. You deleted the part where I said you guys did great. No, this year I took on so many freaking panels. That it started overwhelming me, and I had to do like the booth stuff. So you guys bailed me out when I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And so
it was good.
because we're a team, and that's the most important thing is be a cohesive unit.
Yeah.
But no, they're fun. If you, a couple of my favorites, of course, the Monster Squad because I love the Monster Squad. But Liv Hayden was a really fun interview. She's really nice, and she likes movies like we do. We talked about some goofy movies like Zombievers. So yeah, I should definitely listen to them.
I'm hoping I'll be able to get them all in the RSS feed over Thanksgiving weekend.
So, but you can listen to them on our website, and they're starting to populate on Stitcher too. So
they shouldn't be. I mean, two of them did because I put them.
Yeah,
there,
the Wolfman's Got Nards did.
Yeah.
So make sure you check that out. And our website looks great. Brad redesigned our website too.
It does.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
finally got that theme to work.
And new and improved websites. Awesome interviews.
Speaking of Denver Comic Con, we need to apply for our programming.
Oh, yeah. We need to figure out. So we can do a panel?
Instead of just kind of hoping that they give us one, we should actually apply for a panel.
No, and me and Brad had an idea. I think it'd be fun to do like a Joe McHale thing.
You mean get canceled? Oh.
Yeah. Well, we're only doing one show, so we're good. But like, I don't know if we can run clips though.
We can't.
No, so we'll have to figure something out.
We already went through this like 2 years ago. Maybe do like a live read of something. Like,
sure.
Actually, we should take a famous movie, rewrite it as a parody of something, and then perform it.
Well, I don't mind that idea, but then I have to count on you guys to be performers, and that's what really scares me.
Well, I think what's funny is when everyone trips up, like that's where the magic happens.
Well, I mean, we did perform that Star Wars Shakespeare before ours.
That
while
was
we're trying
good.
to set up. We'll figure it out.
So
we'll be there.
If we like redo some, I don't know, what's a movie we didn't like, and then we make it awesome.
Twilight.
That's like an hour long. 45-minute movie.
Edward and Jacob? Can I play Billy Burke?
Yes. Can I play Werewolf Boy? I don't even know his real. What is his name in the movie?
Shirtless. It's Jacob.
Is it Jacob?
Yeah. I'm
You sounded so
ashamed. I'm ashamed to
He
know
didn't
it.
even need to look at his phone.
Dude, I'm fucking ashamed.
I can't even remember what.
I'm sorry.
Edward.
Edward Cullen. There we go. I'm like, what is the name of
I didn't remember
Robert
his last name.
Pattinson?
Edward Cullen.
Yeah. No, I remember that guy.
Big time. Fellas,
Yep.
one.
Good
Yeah.
time.
Shoot me now.
Yeah. I mean, they did do the
They
artwork for
rebooted it?
Twilight. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Can I play Anna Kendrick?
Oh, that
Yes.
reminds me. I have posters of that artwork for you guys
Do
in
you?
my car.
of the 10th anniversary?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
When I went to see Venom at Flatirons, there was just a table full of them, so I grabbed them, ran out the door.
Oh man, there were Fantastic Beasts posters at the Alamo today, and I didn't grab one. Why would I grab one? Where am I going to put it? I'm out of wall space. There's nowhere to put anything.
Yep. Anyways, every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Remember, guys, it's Grindelwald. It's German.
Grindelwald, yes. He's very German.
It's German.
That's going to mess with my episode title this week.
Yeah.
It's there is an actual town. I think it's in Sweden.
Called Grindelwald?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Sweden, I want to say. I might be wrong on my geography, but I think I'm right.
If it's German, maybe Austria or Germany.
So it is. It's not in Austria, but I'm pretty sure it's Sweden. But it is. German is the official language of that city. You know what? I have Google, and Google will tell me.
What's your phone doing right now?
This week on Listen to Us Google Things.
Yeah. Hang on one second.
Where is Grindelwald?
Where can I buy
Which is
100 industrial
my new favorite geography video game.
He's in the Wizarding World.
Where
what did I say?
Where in the
Where did I say
Wizarding
was that?
World is Grindelwald?
Sweden.
Switzerland. So kind of close.
Yeah, both start with S's.
Both start with S's and W's.
Right. Yeah.
One is more neutral than the other.
Hey-o. Anyways, we also talk about movie news, stuff that's coming out on Blu-ray, movies we've been watching. We also like to party. I don't know about you guys.
We like
but,
long walks on the beach.
but last night, I popped popcorn and me and my kid watched The Princess Bride.
Aww.
So,
Yeah. There you go.
yeah. He's been pretty cute lately. He's asked to watch movies. And so, I won't talk some of them what we've been watching, but like he picked Toy Story, The Incredibles, The Princess Bride. And so he's been picking some fun movies lately.
Just wait. Next week he's going to ask, Dad, can we watch Twilight? Get out!
No, he'll never know what that movie is.
Sure he will. Anytime he comes over to Uncle James' house, I'll be like, do you want to watch Twilight?
and then you know what? They'll be like, okay, that's fine, because Uncle James will have to buy it. And then,
Uncle James already owns it.
oh.
What?
So you've bought in it.
Yeah, I got the box set because it's stupid. I like the idea.
Sure.
Of being
James
able to
cannot
just-
be trusted with money.
Well, this is definitely true. We know that.
Yeah.
No, it got cheap, and I was like, well, what if Brooks wants to watch it sometime with me while I laugh at it?
When would that happen?
Actually, like this week, we were sitting around, and she was like working on some craft because she's an adult and does crafts. And
And
I
I'm
was
over
like-
here like, man, I'm missing my Amazing Spider-Man 462.
Yeah, I was like reading through my list of movies I need to see before the end of the year. And I was like, well, I'll throw something on. And I was looking through I think Amazon, and it was just like the fourth one was on there, the C-section one. And I was like, I'm just gonna start this. So the point of the story is, I did turn one of them on this week, but I didn't use the Blu-ray I have. I just streamed it because that was convenient.
Free though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you didn't rent it, did you?
No. And we got like 2 minutes in, and she was like, no one wants to watch this one. And I was like, yeah.
No
We
one
turned it
wants
off.
No one wants to watch any of them.
So that's why I own it.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense.
Fair enough.
It makes sense.
I own Rocky Horror Picture Show. What
It
are you
makes
gonna
sense. Oh yeah. Well, all right.
But that's
That's
better.
actually for your wife.
do? Yeah, is that better?
And
Is it
Twilight?
on
Yeah.
DVD?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So it's unwatchable on your 4K TV.
Probably. I haven't watched it on that one yet.
Yeah. I need to test more DVDs, but like those
Yes.
Avatar DVDs were unwatchable.
Some of them, are tough. But I watched a Cary Grant movie and it was pretty good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Did the Porky Pigs work okay? On
Oh yeah,
that?
Porky Pig's fine. So the newer, I think the newer like encoded ones are okay.
Okay.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
But so I mean, stuff like Dead Man on Campus is like from '97.
Yeah.
So
Well, and any probably depending on like how high a quality the DVD actually is, right? Like,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So my Infinifilm version of Elf won't work.
Oh no, it probably look pretty good. Hey, this is movie news.
No, I won't do it. I
Um,
refuse to do movie news. We can't do movie news. This is no.
The first step to recovering it, just movie news.
How's Stan Lee doing these days, guys?
God,
Oh.
It's real news.
No, he didn't.
so Stanley,
You
passed
horrible
away.
What, what I missed?
Yeah, it is sad. You know, you think about how much he shaped my childhood. I mean, I don't know about you guys. When my parents first got divorced, I had to go to a new school. Didn't know anybody, and the way I made a friend is, do you remember those old Marvel cards? That was, it'd say famous battles, or it'd be Spider-Man, Green Goblin. So Spider-Man versus Green Goblin. This is a true story. This is how I got into Spider-Man and Green Goblin. So famous battles, Spider-Man versus Green Goblin. You flip it over, it tells the story of Spider-Man versus Green Goblin.
Cool.
And then you start collecting them all, and you realize that all the characters you like are made by Stan the Man Lee that also has a card. And he's a part of your life for so long, whether it's narrating video games, whether it's narrating cartoons, whether lately showing up in movies. And you go back, I mean, can go back to seeing Mallrats on VHS and with Stan Lee. But he's such an icon that it's weird without him, because you can always picture him in something. I mean, he's in the Spider-Man game on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I mean, that I just played.
Odds are
He's in Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I mean,
Is he really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Odds are we're going to see him twice next year.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's going to show up a couple more
Fairly
times.
sure those are among the cameos that he pre-filmed.
Oh yeah.
I hope that, like, regardless if, like, so they'll run out of the pre-filmed ones, but I hope they find a way, like, I think it was Venom or something had, like, his
Deadpool
picture
2.
on Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah.
Had his picture on the side of the building in, like, graffiti art, so
Yeah.
that they find ways like that to, like, keep him in the movies.
Oh, I mean, they have.
Or they Peter pushing him.
I was okay. Like I got through it. The time I finally cried was the video that Marvel put out where they had interviewed a bunch of people, and there was a woman at the end, and the last thing she said that there is never going to be a world without Stan Lee, and that's when I realized like, oh fuck, like that idea that like, no, yeah, we're gonna see him. I'm going to see Stan Lee for the rest of my life, both in the movies and stuff like that, but also in all of the stuff that he created.
And
it's incredible.
And you guys know this because he came to Denver Comic Con 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, $100 for an autograph. That's so much money. And you didn't have to, but you guys talked me into it, helped me get it. And I'm looking at this table. I'm like, I should get like a special comic too that has like, Stan Lee like world, or I forget what his thing is. So I go.
Invaders of Wonder.
No, it's just this like Stanley Con, or I forget what it said on it. Anyways, so I pick a Spider-Man. It's a black and white with Mary Jane, and it was Sunday. And this is how long I was like waffling between doing this or not. And then at the end of the day, you're like, am I ever going to see him again?
Yeah.
And so it was Sunday, and after I do all my previous commitments at Denver Comic Con, which are always a lot, and I get the comic, and I look over, and there's one dude in line. And it's just just one dude and Stan Lee and me. But I mean, he's probably already signed thousands of autographs.
No, I didn't do it because I figured it'd be like a huge line.
Right, exactly.
So I walked over there, and you can already tell he's old. He has a hard time seeing because he was 93 at the time when we were there. So he had his helpers like point to where to sign on the comics. And so I got up there, and I was the only one in line. And he signed, and I said, "Hey Stan, thanks for making my childhood lots of fun." And he said, "Thank you for being a true believer." And I'll always have that, even though it's Sunday and I know he's tired, he's signed thousands of autographs.
Yeah.
And he still had that, thanks for being a true believer. And, I mean, that's stuff that I always liked, whether it's Excelsior or True Believer or
Spider Friend.
That's
my favorite one.
And I always loved...
no prize.
Yeah, no prize. And you read his Stan soapbox. You really go back and read him. He is pretty fun in them. And, so he's
very poignant too.
Oh yeah, so he's such a giant. And it's when someone like that leaves. And you're right, James. I mean, the lady said it right. He'll never be in a world without Stan Lee,
right?
Because he created American fairy tales. I mean, that's an American fairy tale.
I said it in the because I did one for the Instagram feed, but I did one on my own feed on Instagram, which was I think other than Walt Disney, there's not another creator within the modern lexicon who's done that much in that we've known within the last 100 years.
Yeah, and he's also a guy too that he was. He got some slack because he's the guy who always been front and center. It's just because everybody likes him, but he's always been willing to share credit with people. Mm-hmm. You can go back. I mean, if you go back to the Spider-Mans, the Marvel way, for those people who don't know, is the artist would draw. They would work on a plot together. Artist would draw it, come back, and Stan Lee would fill in the bubbles because he was doing like 12 books a month. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think it was Amazing Spider-Man 20-something. He started giving plot credit to Steve Ditko. Mm-hmm. So written by Stan Lee, art and plot by Steve Ditko.
Right.
So he was already doing that. And
the other amazing thing I heard on Fat Man Beyond was that he was so prolific. Like the things he's known for happened in like a 10-year span.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he just coasted on the brand after that.
And I mean, he's such an ambassador for comics. I mean, you're talking about a guy who would go to universities and talk about comic books. If you really want to get into the inside of early Marvel with Stan Lee, there's a great book called The History of Marvel Comics by Sean Howe, and it's really good, and it talks about all of that stuff and some of the bad things, but, I mean, you can't have, I mean, not everybody's going to like them, and not, but as far as being a creator, as far as being one of the most important people in American history, I mean, it's undeniable.
Yeah.
It's undeniable that we have movies that we have now because based on characters that he's made.
Right.
And you can say,
even beyond that kind of scope.
Yeah, you can say, well, you know, it's modern now, but a lot of the themes are Stan Lee's themes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Captain America wasn't created by Stan Lee, but that Captain America was created by Stan Lee.
Yeah.
The Captain America that's frozen in time, man lost in time, you know, comes out of the ice.
Yeah.
Right.
That Captain America is a Stan Lee Captain America.
Yeah. I think that I don't know. It was weird reading it on Monday because like I read it right in the middle of a shift. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to process this while I'm moving a couch?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it's one of those things where I don't know how to feel.
Yeah.
Because he's
so prolific.
It's prolific, and I mean, my favorite character of all time is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I mean, I collect Spider-Man, and my world is created that I love is created by this guy.
Right.
I mean, stuff like even silly things like the Shocker, the Green Goblin, Paste Pot Pete. You know, it's the Trapper. But like it's just things that you take for granted.
Yeah.
I mean, Doctor Doom is one of the greatest comic book characters ever. Magneto, greatest comic book character, one of the greatest comic book characters ever.
Yeah.
Give humanity to these people.
I haven't cried about it, and I'm sure there's going to be a point where I do. Like it'll be delayed, but you know, like I mean, I don't read comics as much as you guys, but I read them enough to be overwhelmed by Stan Lee's work. One of my favorite graphic novels of all time is Marvel's, the Alex Ross thing, because of the story they're telling, and that's not possible without creating that world.
No, it's
and those characters and but the big thing that I love about him was that he is the ambassador role that he had.
Yeah.
He was the guy who said, "Why not? Why not feel for these characters? They don't just have to be punching people; they can also have an emotion while they're punching them."
And you know, that's something you always fight with. I mean, I love the story of the creation of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
because he took an idea of the spider, and he instead of using a gun, Steve Ditko's like, "Well, how about shoot out of the wrists?"
Yeah.
And they told him like, "Well, you put it in Amazing Fantasy because no one's going to want to read a book about a teenager with problems who dresses up like a spider. People don't like spiders, but you make him relatable.
Yeah,
he's a guy who has to worry about paying rent. He's a guy who has to worry about his girl problems. I mean, having Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane as a girlfriend isn't really a problem to me, but hey, you know.
And those are and I used to kid you about those a couple of years ago about like these are the reasons I don't like Spider-Man, but like the truth is like even for all the jokes I can give, like I loved Spider-Man when I was a kid. I did.
No.
Like
the reason you like him is because he's one of us.
Yeah. But the X-Men films also, like my folks could give two fucks about comic books, but they love X-Men movies and they love Wolverine. They love all that's not possible without Stan Lee sitting down and going like, I'm gonna do this equality allegory, but set in a school in Westchester, New York, and that's one of my favorite like comic book like character like collections of all time. And but like the one thing though that I noticed when reading that news, I was like, kind of relieved because I know that for the past 2 years he's been going through some bullshit with people taking advantage of him. Whether I don't know the full thing on it, I've read enough to know like something's up, and I hope he doesn't have to suffer through this shit.
Yeah, the estate will shake it out, but I think it also shouldn't go unnoticed that he's a guy who set a lot of standards for a lot of other artists who came after him. So like a lot of the things that adding that layer of meaning to a lot of his characters then opened the door for a lot of other people to do that. And he's also the guy who was the first man through the door on the Comics Code to actually break that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which of course he was. Like he was the one who had to be.
Yeah.
But it's in my opinion, the worst censorship in America
Absolutely.
ever. And he was the guy who finally was like, and had a really good reason to do it. But he's the guy who broke it, and after that,
And
we
he
got
should have. And it
a lot of really amazing comics and art. So
yeah, and his influence reverberates throughout the whole comic industry.
Yeah.
Because Batman before Stan Lee was defined by his parents were murdered.
Yeah.
But they gave it more weight. They gave it more that he's driven by it.
Yeah.
Not just because he wants to stop crime, but now he carries that burden with him. That's a Spider-Man thing.
Right.
That burden of guilt is Spider-Man.
Because it's other artists looking at the work that Stan does and
Exactly.
being like, well, what can we do to apply this to Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Aquaman, whoever.
Yeah. All great characters, but Stan Lee helped shape making him more human because that's what people wanted. Superman's a great character to a point,
Yeah.
but what grounds Superman? Losing his powers.
Yeah.
nothing grants Superman. He's the worst.
But I will say though that like I'm glad that you got to meet him. I had that chance. I think the same year that you got to meet him. I don't know if it was the year
'cause
after.
you were at Palm Springs.
I was at the Palm Springs one. It was a con that the whole impetus of that con was his. Like it was going to be his con, and like I didn't pay the money to go meet him. I didn't do the thing because I would have told him like, dude, I think you're 10 times more dashing than Errol Flynn, because I thought that would have like made a chuckle. But I did get to see him riding around on his motor scooter, still pleasing his fans, and I stood there like smoking my cigarette, going like, "That's a fucking badass right there."
And you never know when you have an opportunity. I mean, I could have met Stan Winston at Comic-Con. I just want to shake his hand, but Brad's like, "Let's get the fuck out of here," and he died like 2 years later.
Oh my god.
He was conversing with friends.
I'm like, I just want to shake his
In the
hand and say
hall.
how amazing he is. And Brad's like, "Fuck you and fuck Stan Winston." Just kidding.
I had a chance to meet Stan Lee, but then I shut the elevator doors, and I was like, "No room for you, old man."
It's full.
And it was empty, except for me.
Oh, that spider friend hurt my feelings.
That's just a joke. But no, Stan Lee will definitely be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a
But
rough one.
always live on.
Yeah.
I can always crack open a Stan Lee comic book.
I know Brad doesn't like putting in clips, but I would really be happy if he put in the Mallrats clip.
The whole scene?
No, just a section of it. Don't do it, Brad. It's fine.
I'll
on a
put the part
normal-
where he walks the opposite direction where he started.
Hey, look at that couple. Boy, they sure seem to be in love, huh?
You know, what's with that? That's the second time you've commented on couples in love.
Well, I like that sort of thing. Tell me, do you have a girlfriend, Brody?
Had one. We just broke up. The Thing. Is this dork made of orange rock like the rest of his body?
It's a superhero secret. Tell me, Brody, why did you and your girlfriend break up?
She was a pain in the ass. She wanted me to be this typical boyfriend guy. Said I was too into my own world, comics and all.
Yeah, I can relate. There was a time when it was all about comics for me. You know, I had a girl probably the same as yours. She always complained that I spent too much time with my own comics. And eventually we broke up.
See, what did she know? Here you are now, a legend in the field. Probably had a slew of women since her, am I right?
Oh, lots of women. Jagger and me, we had a running contest to see who had the most. Matter of fact, last time I looked, I was way ahead.
Damn, that's hot!
But I never forgot that girl.
Well, did you ever get back together with her?
One day I found out she got married. I had blown it. I had missed my window.
No way. Well, what'd you do?
I went on with my life. I created some special new superheroes. They were characters that reflected my own heartbreak and my own regrets.
How so?
Dr. Doom wears body armor to conceal his own mangled form, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That was me beneath the armor. The Hulk. A normal guy 1 minute, a rage of emotions the next. Just like me when I thought about what I'd given up.
So you created each character as a way to deal with your one big regret.
Yeah, the girl that got away. Look, do yourself a favor, Brody. Don't wait. Because all the money, all the women, even all the comic books in the world, they can't substitute for that one person.
I don't know, all the comics in the world.
Trust me, true believer. Well, good talking to you.
Keep up all the good work.
You keep reading them. I'll keep writing them.
Hey, Stan.
Yeah.
She really meant that much to you?
Brody, I'd give it all up. All of it. For just one more day with her. Take care.
Stan.
Hi. Hey, you know, I think he bought it.
Yeah? What kind of story did you give him?
Oh, it was the vulture soliloquy, you know, from the Spider-Man anniversary issue. Love, be a vulture tonight. Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough, Mr.
Oh, forget it. But, you know, I think you ought to get him some help. He seems to be really hung up on superhero sex organs. But he'll outgrow it. Okay.
Actually, he's really great. He has. I watched it this week, and I forgot how great his delivery is. He's when he says, "Brody, I would give it all up for just one more day," and it's beautiful.
Jagger and me, we had a running contest.
I love too that in his dialogue in that he's kind of senile because he tells TS a way different story than what he told Brody. Love, be a vulture tonight, and I loved his titles. How green is my goblin? I love that stuff.
I think you ought to get him some help. He seems hung up on superhero sex organs.
The thing's door because it made out of rock. Superhero secret.
It's a superhero secret, kid.
Yeah. I mean, another good news, Bill Goldman also passed away.
I was just going to say, what would normally be the biggest story of the week is that we lost William Goldman as well.
Yeah.
He was 87. He had colon cancer.
You know, both great runs, though. I mean, if you want to live live, 87 and 95, that's a pretty good run.
That guy's list of movies is
fucking impressive.
Like,
oh yeah,
I think even if you're not the biggest fan of The Princess Bride, he wrote enough for something you'd be a fan of.
If you're not the biggest fan of The Princess Bride, what the fuck is wrong with you?
My wife, she does not.
My
like
wife,
that movie.
This is crazy.
I like Princess Bride, but one of his scripts that I love even more is All the President's Men.
Oh yeah,
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. The one that I didn't when I went and looked him up, the one that I forget, I probably knew this, but Maverick. He wrote Maverick, and I adore that movie. Like, it's so funny.
It's a good movie that shouldn't work.
He's a very witty screenwriter.
Mm-hmm. He also wrote a Jason Statham film because Wild Card is based on his book Heat.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right.
No relation to the Michael Mann Heat.
I need to know if your card's wild.
Yeah.
I need to know All the President's Men. Wait, this isn't the right story.
I need to know if that wire's tabbed for the President's Men.
Yeah. My goodness.
I need to know if this
is a really deep fucking joke.
Right.
Any Watergate fans out there?
So many layers.
I am right over here.
Wow.
So, anyway, into actual news. Do you guys want to talk about trailers first or regular news?
Regular news.
Okay.
Neither.
Okay.
As you wish, Brad.
It's just a couple of things. Speaking of Rebecca, which we talked about earlier, Netflix is going to remake it with Armie Hammer and Lily James.
I love Lily James.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually it's going to happen. It might as well be with talented people.
Yeah, you know,
it is a book, so I mean, like,
true. Yes, this is an adaptation. This is not.
Yeah,
we're going to go remake the Hitchcock film.
Yeah, no, you're not going to touch that.
Not
but
that
like,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's the True Grit scenario where it's just like, yeah, there's one really iconic film, but that doesn't mean you can't take that material and do something else with it.
True. Yes, and that's a good example where they went and made a better movie.
I agree.
I do too.
And that's not even to say that the John Wayne True Grit is a bad film. It's fine for that time.
But it's got
by
John
comparison
Wayne
to,
I don't mind John Wayne.
Oh no, I love
don't
John
either,
Wayne.
but
It's not. That's not the best John Wayne film. And when you compare it to the Coen Brothers True Grit, it's like not even close.
I think my True Grit was on my 2009
I'm sure.
favorite films.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't change mine. I mean, James will probably change his next year.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
10 years, fuck.
Yeah.
We're actually going to do a revisit.
It's actually 2010,
Well,
so you've got another year
technically,
waiting, I think.
yeah, technically that wasn't a Real Nerds episode, but
It was not.
I think it would be like no. Oh no, don't.
I hold all the keys.
But no, I actually think that would be a really great idea. I'm interested to see it. There's nothing to talk about, but I watched Rebecca this week, and I still think that movie holds up. Or I watched it last week, but it's good. I can see somebody making a modern version of it and really playing up some of the really cool aspects and doing something amazing with it.
Stuff that you couldn't get away with the code back in the day.
Yeah. They're also gonna remake The Saint with Chris Pratt,
cool.
Which I only bring up because I kind of really like that Val Kilmer movie, which I know is not the original. You know,
that's not bad.
Yeah, I think that movie is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't think it's bad.
I'm glad to know I'm not alone in that. I don't think it's terrible.
No, that's a fun movie.
Keep in mind, though, I haven't watched it in probably 10 years.
Yeah. And then there was some Filmstruck stuff. A number of people are trying to save Filmstruck, which I'm surprised by. Like, I never used it, so I guess it must have been good.
I think Criterion announced their own channel.
Yeah, so Criterion is saying they're going to do their own. But then in addition to that, there's some news saying that, like, it's entirely possible that Filmstruck might stick around. It's getting some support from, like, Spielberg and Scorsese and Chris Nolan. And so they might find a different way to do it, but who knows? We'll see. The animation studio, Aardman Animations, that did Wallace and Gromit and all those, I just thought was cool. They've fought for years to not get bought up by people, and this week they basically gave out shares to longtime employees of that company, so that now Aardman Studios is owned by the employees, which is just neat. That's just a cool...
Yeah, you hope they can make a movie that makes a lot of money.
I want them to get to a Leica place where all their movies, sure, they only make one every 2 or 3 years, but they always make good money and are able to keep going.
Well, they've been good for a while. It's just that when you don't do Wallace and Gromit, that's their bread and butter. That was their bread and butter.
Yeah,
so.
And I think they do really well overseas, like especially in Europe, where Wallace and Gromit made a big splash.
Unless you do Chicken Run 2.
Dude, if they could do Chicken Run 2, man, I would be there.
Yeah,
man.
Bring all the cast back. I don't care.
And okay, so then we got some trailers. We got the trailer for Dumbo, which I actually kind of like.
I don't mind it because it goes back to his kind of big fish aesthetic.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I forget it's Tim Burton while I'm watching.
And that's a good thing because his gloomy "I'm Tim Burton" movie magic guy I could deal without.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can pull it off.
Yeah, the scope is there, like you said, big fish, kind of like that vibe. The circus, especially.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how you expand on a 60-minute movie like that, which is based on an even shorter book. But
yeah,
sure,
we'll see.
It's all right.
Colin Farrell looks awesome, climbing up something with one arm.
Did you watch the trailer for Leprechaun Returns?
I did.
Because
I didn't watch it yet.
did. Yeah. I thought that looked amazing. Yeah. I just wanted to say it out loud.
What makes
it
me
looks
excited?
Terrible.
So the Leprechaun movies aren't great, but but they're fun. And I don't know if they can work without Warwick Davis because here's the thing:
it doesn't.
Is he actually tries really hard? And if you're ever bored and you have, I think it's $17 right now. Mm-hmm. You get the Leprechaun collection, and it has interviews with Warwick Davis on all of them. Mm-hmm. And he talks about because when he was casting Leprechaun, no one was casting him. You know, and he says, and so I tried my damnedest to make this role iconic, and he did.
Yeah.
No matter the quality of the film, like the first one's fun, the second one's pretty fun, third one's actually really good. And then they're fun, and then they tried to relaunch it. Was it Leprechaun Origins? I think is the name of it, and it was awful
with the wrestler.
Yeah, and it's not really a leprechaun; it's like this demon thing that's chasing people. So that they're putting it in as I want me gold. Like I'm down. Like I'll watch it.
I just like that poster, and
it does. Of course, it does.
Viewing party, man. Fucking viewing party.
It does, but I'm hoping that it's terrible in a fun way.
Yeah. I just want to say that I think the trailer for Alita Battle Angel looks amazing, and I'm really excited for it. The CG is not done, or I should say, the CG looks half baked and probably will when it comes out. But as a guy who really loved those books, like
again,
it's a really good adaptation, and I'm hoping it's a cool action.
I hope I can get into it. I have the Ready Player One. His avatar drove me crazy. I hated the character design of it.
Yes,
and so that's what scares me about that film.
Yeah,
is it going to take me out of it too much? I hope not, because the action looks pretty great.
Right.
And I do like Robert Rodriguez a lot, so I hope that it's fun.
And I believe Cameron and someone else wrote the script, so
it'll be Hollow.
Well, Cameron was trying to make that movie for years. Best case scenario for me was actually that somebody else ended up making it because I didn't really want him to.
I saw the new trailer though in front of Fantastic Beasts, and I got interested in it.
I mean, obviously I'm going to see it, but
yeah,
and I want to see Christoph Waltz play a kindly inventor.
Yeah,
which seems like I don't know if that's what it is, but.
And then the very last thing that we have to talk about, because holy fucking shit, Detective Pikachu got a trailer this week, and oh my god, that movie looks good, and I don't give a shit about Pokemans. Like Pokemans, I've watched that trailer a number of times now.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you already got it. Oh, fuck.
Like this reminds me of
so
the
good.
So we have the Stranger Things. Was it Target exclusive?
Yeah, it's a Target exclusive.
Box art, and it reminds me of those mom and pops video stores clamshells.
Yes, exactly.
Not the Blockbuster ones, but the ones that they would cut them out and put them in.
Because it's supposed to be Hawkins Video.
Yeah,
it's like it's supposed to be the rental from. Yeah, so it's. Oh man,
that's awesome.
That's so good. I was wanting to try and find my way to a Target because I don't ever go to Target.
Well, that one, the 4K, I had to order online because
the
Targets I went to only had the Blu-ray version.
Okay, I'll just order it online then.
And I thought the 4K was 4K only, so I ended up buying both.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! It's Well, you can sell the Blu-ray one.
Yeah.
To someone.
Anyways, you're saying.
Anyway, Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
I love the Pikachu design.
Oh,
giving him fur and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, all of the Pokemon look like really good in the real world.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to spoil the Detective Pikachu game's pretty fun.
Is it?
Like it's pretty simple. You just run around and solve puzzles.
Yeah.
And you use, but in that Detective Pikachu is some Brooklyn guy.
Yeah.
So he says, "Why don't you go over there and see what they got going on?" It's pretty fun.
I like how they explain away that.
Yes.
Like at first you're saying like, why is Ryan Reynolds voicing this other than Cash? But the fact that someone special enough to translate them.
Yeah,
makes it's clever.
I would say that the internet's idea that he should have been Danny DeVito is really good because it's Ryan Reynolds. The whole time I just keep expecting him to make terrible jokes like Deadpool, because that Deadpool is basically an animated character. Anyway,
there's a really funny. What I like about Ryan Reynolds too, if you follow him on Instagram or Twitter or stuff, he always puts funny stuff out.
Yeah.
So lately he just did a tell the tape with Pikachu and Deadpool. It's pretty funny.
It's incredible.
Watching that trailer though, like I loved Pokemon when I was like 6, 7, or 8 or whatever, and like I that's a movie I would have loved when I was that age. So,
I'm not a big Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
Me either.
But I mean like the Charizard looks amazing.
Yeah.
And even like the joke with the mime. I don't even know if the mime's freaking Pokemon is named.
I can't remember.
But it's a pretty funny little joke.
If I'd grown up loving Pokemon, I bet this would be my Lego movie.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like this just looks like a slam dunk based on the trailer.
It's just like it's like what Pokemon Go did 2 years ago, where it reinvigorated my interest in something I loved when I was 6, 7, and 8. And now this is kind of doing the same thing, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, let's see how this plays out because, like, I've been.
It looks fun.
It looks pretty.
What's the kid in that? What movie he was in is really good.
His name is Justice Smith, but I don't know what he's been.
I remember him being in something.
Is he a Will Smith kid?
He's in Jurassic Park: Fallen Kingdom. He's pretty funny in that.
Oh yeah. He's that. He's that character that just like is here in 6 scenes randomly spread out in the movie.
Also, I like the Ken Watanabe's in that movie.
Yeah.
You were a legend.
That's cool. Very last piece of news that I have is just, do you remember a couple of years ago there was the internet created Bat Kid, who was a was it Miracle Make-A-Wish Foundation thing,
saving San Francisco.
Yeah, he dressed up like Batman and ran around and he fought Batman villains in San Francisco.
There's a great documentary if you want to check that out about that kid.
As of this week, he is cancer free.
Yeah,
so, yes, happy endings.
A win.
Yeah.
Good job.
A single win.
We did it.
Yep.
The young ones stay alive. The old ones all died this week.
But you know what? I bet Stan's okay with that.
Yeah.
Give that kid my powers.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Stan Lee threw himself on the altar and died in order to save that kid from cancer.
You're a
for
DC
use.
fan? I doubt it.
Hey, here's a recording from Corinne.
Hey nerds, Corinne here for Catching the Classics Part 6. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Green Mile, which I've never seen, but I did know some things about it. I knew Tom Hanks was in it. Is it Michael Clark Duncan, I think is his name. I knew he was in it. And I had the ending ruined for me. I don't remember how, but I did know that Michael Clark Duncan's character dies at the end. And I knew that he heals Tom Hanks's character of some kind of like urinary tract infection or something, because I had seen some clip of it at some point. So yeah, unfortunately I knew how it was going to end, and I kind of knew the basic premise of, you know, this kind of special inmate that they have on death row. But overall I really liked it. Surprise. No, it's a good movie, and I honestly like it better than Shawshank Redemption. And I'm kind of mad because I feel like Shawshank Redemption almost ruined this movie a little bit for me. Like, with the whole Wild Bill was, you know, the guy who committed the crime that Michael Clark Duncan's character was in jail for, or on death row for. And that's, you know, something straight out of Shawshank Redemption. I don't know which one Stephen King wrote first. But, yep, sorry, I got a little bit of frog in my throat this morning. But it is, yeah, it's a good movie. It's 3 hours, but it didn't really feel that long. There were a couple of parts where I was like, okay, we could kind of keep moving. But on the whole, it didn't feel as long as I thought it would. It kept me engaged and interested. Definitely the part when they introduced the mouse, I was a little bit like, oh my gosh, like that's why this movie is 3 hours, because we have time to be introduced to mice at this point. But then, you know, over time you understand why Mr. Jingles is so important. And I was just very impressed by like the animal work and the stunt work in this. Wow, how did they get that mouse or the mice to do that? That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, anyway, this is a really, really good movie. Did feel a little long in parts, and I was kind of upset that there were a couple of beats that were taken from Shawshank Redemption or vice versa. That there are a couple of similarities. It's like, how often does it happen that the man who actually committed the crime that you're in prison for is in the same prison as you? Like, that just seems like such a huge coincidence to me. And for it to happen in two of these Stephen King prison novellas is a little bit too much. But I was also a little confused as to John Coffey. Like, what is he supposed to be? Is he an angel? Is he an alien? Is he just like a person with superhuman powers? I don't know. I would probably lean more toward, he didn't seem to be an angel because he was talking about how he wanted to go to heaven or something. And maybe, I guess I would have to lean more toward the person with superhuman powers. But the fact that the one lawyer guy played by Gary Sinise said something about how he just appeared out of nowhere, I was like, oh, he's probably an angel or an alien because this is Stephen King. But yeah, it didn't take away from my enjoyment of it. I was just kind of curious because I wanted them to address it, but I guess it would make sense why they wouldn't necessarily know. And I was also a little confused toward the beginning or end of the movie. I was like, oh yeah, this is like a whole, you know, book ended with him being old, where this is all a flashback. So I was like, what was the whole point of this being a flashback? When, you know, from when he's old, and then when we got to the end, he was like, I'm 108 years old, or whatever it was. And I thought that too. I was like, wow, he was how old in the Depression? And it's like the 1980s or 1990s now? Like, how is he that old? So, yeah, okay. It's like, yeah, they explained it. There is a reason why it was bookended like that. So, overall, good movie. The Green Mile, 4 out of 5 stars. I don't know if we can do half stars. I guess I can do whatever I want. If I can give it half stars, I'll give it 4.5 stars. Because there were a couple of things about it I didn't like, but on the whole, a really, really good movie, and I would recommend it to everybody. Okay, so for next week, I'm not letting you guys pick this time. I'm going to be watching not a movie. How about that? So, I hope you guys had fun seeing Fantastic Beasts, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
I guess you hated all of us reading her stuff.
Done with you guys.
Well, I never have
Taking
because
over.
I'm never on the show anymore. So,
Yeah, you're like a guest star.
oh fuck. Brad said that this week.
knife.
It's like when Ron Howard left Happy Days, but he kept coming back every so often.
I'm that cousin that lives upstairs.
Cool. Green Mile. Good choice, Corinne.
Oh yeah, and I would totally agree with her. I like Green Mile more than Shawshank.
I do too. I think Shawshank's a fine film. It's one of those movies that everybody loves that I think's good. I don't know.
I mean, I think Shawshank is really good.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't think it's the best film of all time.
But it's a movie when it comes on, I just get sucked in.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Sure.
I'm just gonna watch 5 minutes of this, and next thing you know, you stopped everything and you're just watching it.
But see, that's how I feel about Green Mile. Anytime I see Green Mile, when we say it comes on, this is like
on TBS.
terminology
Yeah.
terminology from 6 years
Back in the
ago when
90s.
when I had cable and surfed.
I think I just have more fun with Shawshank than Green Mile, but Green Mile's great. It's fucking excellent.
Green
Yeah.
Mile I missed in the theater, and then I rented it, and like I remember like sitting, watching on TV, and then just being blown away by the end. Be like, wow, I can't believe like what a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just like it just stuck with me.
I love the wraparound on that film too, especially.
Oh, yeah.
In
Green
the-
Mile's
yeah.
great. Oh, Frank Darabont's a great
Yeah, he is.
filmmaker. I think so, anyways.
We should give him some money to do some more.
Well, I mean, if he's successful at suing The Walking Dead, he doesn't need to work anymore.
That's true.
Hey, we also
It's too bad because he was right.
probably we can go around town with Brad because even though it's winter time, there's a place to go when Brad's around. We go around town. It's the Mile High City version of partying.
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
This week at the Esquire is The Room and Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go to The Room because friends from out of town are coming in, and we're going to make it
Oh,
a thing.
sweet.
So if anyone hasn't seen it yet,
What day is it?
it's Friday night.
You got to see it with people.
Day after
I
Thanksgiving.
might actually be able to do that. I have to work. What time does it start at?
Midnight.
Oh, fuck.
So
do that.
you have to drive it back up to Idaho Springs by 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's all right. You're tearing me apart with these times, Brad.
And then, of course,
And you have to bring your own spoons.
yeah, I'll be bringing spoons. Gonna try to bring a football this time.
Ooh.
But yeah, we're gonna do that. So we'll be there.
It's no fun at the movie theater unless you bring your own football.
What's the other thing that people bring? I keep forgetting. Why would
Jell-O.
You don't know.
Chicken.
A lot of people dress up in red dresses.
Yeah.
TVs to smash.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Open screen night.
TV
The final open
display.
screen night is Tuesday, November 27th. Please come out and support that because it's the
Yeah.
last time ever, and there will be a funeral for the show at the show. So come check out all the stuff I'm putting together for that. $5 and bring a film because we're gonna screen everything until we got nothing else.
Oh.
Time is not a factor
Yeah.
unless it applies to your movies. It's still less than 15 minutes.
It's an
Don't give us
illusion.
anything longer than that.
After time.
I gotta put something together too.
If you lost, I will find you.
And that's what's going on around town.
We sometimes get movies physically, and this is the stuff that's coming out on Blu-ray.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Let's get physical, guys. Get physical.
What do you? What
Now
movies
we're
would you
getting
say
physical.
you know in a biblical way?
And biblical,
That's a.
let's
it's
see,
a
the history of the
euphemism.
world.
No, it's a euphemism for banging.
Yes, I mean, but Moses broke the 11th commandment. So
Euphemism for banging is a great side
that's in history of the world. Anybody? That's a really deep.
Zach pinched his dick in a steelbook.
These 11 commandments. These 10 commandments. Thank you, Mel Brooks fans. There we are.
I like the scene before it though, where he's like, God's giving him the commands, and he's just like, all right, you don't have to shout.
Crazy Rich Asians is out on Blu-ray this week.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that was good.
Are they crazy rich or crazy rich Asians?
That's the fun of the title. See what they did there? There's no commas at all.
I had a lot of fun with that.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
It's grammatical chaos.
You know what I miss? I miss movies that have a white guy like Chris Farley playing a Japanese guy. That's what we need.
We don't say a Japanese, Ryan. Blind Spotting, which I've never heard
whoa!
of.
That was a hard J.
Blind Spotting, which I've never heard of, but is a movie from Lionsgate, is out this week.
Oh,
it's got
a Sundancer.
Some dudes
They
leaning on a
advertised
wall.
the Alamo so much, I thought you would have seen it.
Nope.
Must have been why you're getting.
Wow,
married.
that's a momentum killer.
Kin is out on 4K this week, which I always thought looked cool.
The
Poster
trailer
looks
looked
cool.
interesting.
Yeah. So I might.
Well,
check
They
that
Need
out.
Your Help. It made like $1 million.
Oh, no one saw that movie. But yeah, that's the main new stuff. Oh man, I don't have these in any kind of special order, so we'll just do. How about Candyman? Candyman is out this week from the Shout Factory.
It's one of my favorite '90s films.
I need to rewatch it. It's been a while since I've seen it.
What's he holding on this cover? Is
He
that
has
like a tiny
hook.
toy of Free Willy?
No, was he? I don't know. I haven't. Is he ripping? So Candyman, he loses his hand, and then he's drenched in honey while he's being lynched.
Oh, it's a hook, but it's facing him. I see. Yes.
You should try to interview Tony Todd sometime.
I should. I heard that interview exists somewhere.
It exists somewhere. It exists somewhere.
But
I don't know where it's at.
This is
I know it's been recorded.
It's definitely not on my drive that died, so
This
must
is
be somewhere else.
Factories, though.
Sometimes when I post things, it's not true. It's excuses. So when people look for stuff, they're like not wondering where it's at because I don't know.
I don't know what
I have no idea what's going on.
This one makes me really mad because Criterion's putting out a beautiful edition of Some Like It Hot, which I already own.
Mm-hmm.
But I want this because I love that movie.
Half off, Barnes & Noble.
Oh, man. Some Like It Hot is amazing.
It is a great movie.
That movie stands up like it was made yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Funny.
Yeah.
They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah. A little bit subversive.
I love watching those old movies like that.
Think
I've been having so much fun with them lately.
I know. Now you understand.
No, I mean, I've had that love before. I'm just not weird about radios.
Wow.
There were all these lists back around Halloween that were like, horror movies that were so good they should have won the Oscar that year or whatever. Or I've seen them in other words. Either way. And Psycho is always on those, and I'm like, no, because go watch The Apartment. The Apartment is still better than Psycho. The Apartment deserves to win the Oscar that year.
Yeah,
holy
I agree.
shit! Like
Psycho's a great film.
I think it's one of those where like people who are writing those lists tend to see that and they've never seen The Apartment.
Absolutely.
And so they think it's like some slocky comedy, and you're like, no, like it is not just some silly Jack Lemmon movie. It's amazing.
Before I saw The Apartment, when I was like, oh god, I was like, must have been freshman in high school. Before I saw it, that's what I thought it was because that's what the poster made it look like.
No. Also out from Criterion this week is Urban Legend, which is
Scream Factory.
Scream Factory.
Wow.
That's like someone picking faculty more than Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
That's like the Zach Eastman of
Criterion
options.
must really need to pay for that new channel.
My goodness.
Urban Legend's a
sorry.
fun movie.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's because I don't know.
England's in it, right?
No. Trust us. We're Criterion.
Hey, The Rock has a Criterion edition, so let's just
And
say,
Armageddon.
yeah.
RoboCop.
So
That's
yeah.
a good
Anyway,
movie, asshole.
Urban Legend. I have
It's
no
a
idea.
classic.
No idea whether or not Urban Legend is any good.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's like a 90s slasher film.
Cool. There's a neat steelbook of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Cool.
That you can go get.
Maybe I need to take a nap.
That was delayed. Yeah.
Oh, was it? It's
Yep.
still on Blu-ray.com.
Oh, they just keep pushing it back. I don't know if it's actually out this week, but
Oh, I see what you're saying.
we'll give it a shot, maybe.
Go to the counter.
Yeah,
and
if you
say,
need a
like,
nap.
Hi, I'd like one nap, please. Sir, this is
No,
Steelbook
say,
of 2001.
I would like to buy 2001 Space Odyssey.
Oh, that guy died this week, too.
Oh,
Yeah,
Voice
the
of
guy
Hal.
played Al, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm
so
just
respectful, right? Yeah,
just,
that guy.
I am just so full of deep cuts today. I'm going to keep on working on super deep cuts.
Do you have any references for Django, which is out from Arrow this week? Nope.
I'm a Western.
Django. Django. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a Franco Nero original, man.
It's a really cool cover. Also out from Shout, well, this one's technically Shout Select, is Holy Motors, which I've still never seen, but I feel like
Have you seen that one? Is that who's seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Who has seen it that we've talked to?
It feels
I'm
like
sure Henry has seen
It was
Holy Motors.
the guy who did The Quiet Girl's Guide to Violence.
Oh, yeah.
it's a film
Yeah.
that I feel like everyone says
He recommended it.
Raphael, yeah.
Raphael, that's
Yeah.
Ruiz, yeah.
Yeah.
He does a lot of like Blu-ray stuff. If like do you follow him? He's
Yes.
like he's my friend on Facebook. He did the Predator stuff and things like that. So he's a producer on stuff like that.
I saw you skipping over those Mary Pickford.
Oh, shut up. I'm going to get there. I'm just putting shit in order. Hold on. There's a
Bitch.
Shout Factory Steelbook edition of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey,
Station.
which is a lot. So you can go pick that up. There's also a Shout Factory Steelbook release of Streets of Fire.
Oh, I love Streets of Fire.
Do you?
I do. I think it's a fun movie.
Oh, okay.
Diane Lane looking all sexy and singing.
There's
I haven't seen this one yet.
a neat little documentary out from Kino Lorber called Pioneers, First Women Filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea if it's good, but sure. Maybe watch that. It might be interesting. And then the very last thing.
It's probably about 70% as good as any other movie, right?
Oh my god. Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Yes.
That was terrible. Going to hell.
Well, that was a given, but now we're going to super hell.
Going to hell, a special kind of hell, where they just make you watch Free Jack all day. Because this week, the last thing I have is Free Jack on Blu-ray.
I already watched it on
The
Vimeo.
Emilio Estevez. Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger, Anthony Hopkins film. Oh my
It's like
god.
Demolition Man, but with Mick Jagger in it.
So not as cool.
Dancing
at Taco Bell.
Which I can't necessarily recommend that you watch Free Jack, but you should go listen to the How Did This Get Made. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god, Free Jack. This cover looks cool, though. Man, if it were 1991, I would totally pick up this DVD. Or VHS. I would pick up this VHS and go home and watch this movie, hoping it was a 70% of Blade Runner movie, and it won't be. Look at it. See, it's got cool lines as if you're in a computer.
I don't know if you've been following the MVD Rewind collection, but I wish that was a movie that they were doing because they they do the cover art with the rental stickers and everything on it.
Oh,
and Free Jack would be perfect for that.
And they've been putting out a lot of Van Damme stuff.
Yeah.
Which ones they have coming out this week or next week?
Well, they've done Black Eagle and Lionheart, and they're bringing out Double Impact next.
I do like Double Impact,
but the one I'm waiting for, which is in January, is Double Dragon.
Oh, that's right. Oh, the Double Dragon shit's awesome too. I was looking at the specs; they got tons of special features. I'm like, wow, who wants to talk about that movie?
Yeah,
right on.
Oh yeah,
MVD's a cool boutique line.
I know.
Yeah.
I like how they just post hey, what do you guys think of the art?
Yeah,
almost like one person's doing it.
Yeah,
great.
Same thing like the Vestron. It's like one dude who runs their website.
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting.
Maybe it's a girl. I don't know.
Yeah, a person runs the website.
Yeah, it looks like you can't even buy directly from their website.
Who?
MVD.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
it's like on Amazon and stuff.
Crazy.
That's all right.
That's cool.
Who's putting out Free Jack though?
Ooh, shoot.
Scorpion releasing.
It was
Severin.
not.
Severin. Hey, they made my
Hold, please.
They made
Jack Frost. I think was my Jack Frost Severin. I think
it was Vinegar Syndrome.
Oh yeah, it was
Jack Frost,
Vinegar.
yeah.
Chinese holding
Sony
company.
Pictures, sir.
Sony. Wow.
Oh. Wow, they
They
really need
decided
that
that-
money.
Oh no, they have an on-demand thing now.
Wait,
So
who?
it might be
They
on
do?
demand,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
I'll look
Oh,
it up.
so maybe it's like a
you
Warner
can-
archive.
Originally did it.
Then maybe you can get. Does they have Longest Yard with Adam Sandler in there?
No.
Damn. Wow, they
Well,
hate
because
you.
that's how I got Spanglish and another Adam Sandler one that's like a on-demand one.
Like one of his earlier ones, like Big Daddy or something.
So
like
Spanglish
that.
on Blu-ray is their on-demand one.
Now I can't
believe the name
remember
of
if I own Spanglish or if
On
I
Blu-ray?
watched it recently. I don't know if I streamed it or I watched it.
It's great on Blu-ray.
James Brooks appreciates you buying it.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, well, I bought or rented it so she could watch it because she'd never seen it.
Oh, I said James Brooks, not your wife
Oh,
Brooks.
I thought that was James, comma Brooks appreciates you buying it. Like that sentence made.
If you have a kid, just
perfect sense.
If you have a kid, boy or girl, just name it L.
James Brooks.
We also watch movies throughout the week in a segment we have wonderfully titled What We've Been Watching.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Free Jack was originally a Warner Brothers movie. It's weird that they're not releasing it.
Zach, what'd you watch this week?
I actually watched a
Documentary.
couple of things. After the day after the podcast, I rewatched Grumpy Old Men.
Dope.
It's like essentially it's ground zero for the boom of geezer exploitation films that you get from the 90s up to today.
Is that technically a Christmas movie or just a cold movie?
Yeah, I think it's a Christmas movie.
Okay, cool.
It's a Christmas movie. But if you don't remember it, it's Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon are neighbors, and Anne Margaret moves in across the street, and it's about them.
Hubba.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
So I mean,
Oh.
like, I think this film honestly is much more just like I remember loving it when I was much younger, and I still like it, but it's aged a little bit,
Shut
and
up.
not in the best ways.
Shut up. No, I don't want to believe it.
But it's still funny as fuck for a movie written by the guy who wrote Daredevil and Ghost Rider.
Well, that's just mean.
I mean, yeah, no, it's fine. Like I say, like it's just that like there's other films that have done the old people like being crotchety that I think are better, but this is obviously like the beloved one. Actually, Burgess Meredith was my favorite part of this time around viewing it because he plays Jack Lemmon's father, and he clearly gets to do some improv, and it's fun. Also Buck Henry's in it. I forgot he was in it. And then I
think I'm going to win.
It's fun. I enjoyed it. The scene at the end where Matthau helps Lemon get to the hospital is still pretty touching, and like, you family or friend? Friend. So I enjoyed rewatching it. I saw To Hell and Back, the Kane Hodder story, which I don't know how I fell that far behind on not watching it. It's pretty fucking great.
That's good.
Dread Central put it out, actually. Like, this is their new label thing that they're doing. And the story of Kane, like, I did not read his book Unmasked, but I've known, obviously, through Ryan's passion for Friday the 13th and my own love of horror, Kane Hodder's story roughly, but I didn't know the details. He talks a little bit about it in Adam Green's podcast every so often, but hearing the details now about his accident and his recovery nearly brought me to tears. It's rough because like it's the depression that comes after something of like that nature is just horrific, and like it was rough to think about kind of like internally. But thankfully they don't like keep you in darkness too much. They also like fill it in with plenty of trivia, plenty of stuff about like, well, what, you know, I didn't know Kane and Robert Englund did a series together, and that sounds pretty fucking cool. Like, but you know, it's interesting to see how how he's lived his life, and I mean, like, is it the best documentary of the year? I don't know. I've seen a couple, so I'd have to like think about it. But this is definitely one of those ones that you're not expecting to be as great as it is.
Yeah, it's all right.
Because you'd think it's just for horror fans, but it kind of transcends that.
I think it tells a good story. I think it drags a little bit, and sometimes a little too self-serving.
Yeah.
But there's still parts. I mean, his story is fascinating, and you know, someone where you think of that statue, he was bullied and stuff, and is really interesting.
My only issue with the film, honestly, is probably the thing you didn't like in the Cary Grant thing, which is like the artistic thing, or like there's B-roll footage of Kane grabbing dirt or like looking through trees and stuff like, and that's fine.
That's what I mean. Like the pacing issues drives me crazy because when
Yeah.
you're trying to tell a documentary, I don't care about him grabbing dirt or the camera swooping around him while he's looking through trees.
Right, and it's fat you could probably trim
Yeah.
just to keep the thing going. But again, like the audience for this film will enjoy that.
No, I don't. I think it's well told. The story.
I mean, unless you're like,
Well, obviously because he tells it. So
yeah. Well, and that scene with him reuniting with the doctor was great.
Oh yeah, it was really great.
But yeah, so it's great. I'd check it out. It's actually free on Prime right now, so you can check it out that way. I rewatched The Shadow because I got the Laserdisc, but I was like, well, I don't have a Laserdisc player. I have the collector's edition Blu-ray.
Laserdisc of The Shadow.
Still a ridiculous, silly movie that I enjoy only and no one else does.
No, it's great. I love that movie.
Okay, yeah.
And
sure.
so does Shout Factory.
Yeah. Apparently, Shout Factory likes it enough to give it a good treatment. I think I've seen it so many times that like I've lived in denial on like the issues with it, and I know they're there, but I just don't care. I still get upset with Kenny G. saxophone music playing in one particular moment in the film. But also, like, there's stuff like with Tim Curry's character where I'm like, well, how did we get here? But it doesn't matter because it's because it's The Shadow and it doesn't have to make too much fucking sense in my opinion. I saw Widows yesterday, the new Steve McQueen film, starring Viola Davis and Liam Neeson.
Take the fucking elephant.
Take the fucking big elephant.
That's what The Shadow wanted to be.
Darkman. I will easily concede after rewatching Darkman earlier this year. Darkman's a better Shadow movie.
Of course it is.
But I like
because they told Sam Raimi he couldn't make The Shadow, and he's like, "Then fuck you."
He's like, "Fuck you! I'm going to do it anyway." But no, Widows. If you don't know the story, it's a bunch of men die in a bank robbery or in a robbery, and their wives who they've left behind have to steal.
Oh.
Catch up, Zach. Catch up.
Really good. Their wives who were left behind.
Their widows. Their widows have to steal a certain amount to pay off the guy that their husbands robbed. And it's not the movie I think you're expecting from that trailer. It's a quiet yet.
You mean it's not Ocean's 8?
Well, no. Actually, it is better than Ocean's 8, obviously, because it's got a great director behind it. This film is not like an action film, so I don't recommend you walking into that. Like, it's got action elements, but that is not its primary focus.
Can't wait to watch this action movie. Aww.
Yeah.
Oh man, this movie Drive's got cars in it.
See, that's what I would equate it to. It's like a Drive, where the action itself is stylized, but it's not like balls to the wall like heist insanity, which I don't think the trailer tells you that.
Is there a sweet scene where they beat up a dude really bad in an elevator?
No, but there's a great scene where
you
a guy.
mean the sexiest scene of the 2000s?
A real human being, yeah.
No, but there is a scene where the Get Out guy, Daniel Kaluuya, beats up a guy in a bowling alley.
Sweet.
And I will not tell you how brutal it gets, because it gets fucking brutal.
Does he bowl his head down the alley?
No, but he...
And it knocks over all the pins. He's like, strike.
He does...
I'm finished.
This is your last strike.
He does something with a character in a wheelchair that is incredibly uncomfortable.
Tries to make him walk.
Go see the movie.
Is it in any way similar to George Clooney's thing in the basement in Burn After Reading? Sorry, Mom.
Quick question. Did you bake a pot pie and then just totally forget about it?
No, that's Ryan's annual Thanksgiving pie.
Oh,
and that's also Ryan's copy of Song of the Sea.
I get Song of the Sea back,
which I watched. Yeah, you get Song
2
of the Sea
years
back.
later.
Yeah, 2.
Has it been longer than 2?
Probably.
Sorry.
I moved your Blu-ray.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, I thought that was Zach related. Continue.
No. So yeah, no.
Is it pecan pie?
Fuck yeah! It is.
I love pecan pie.
He told me he put a bunch of whiskey in it. So.
Oh yeah, there's bullet rye in that one, and it tastes a lot like whiskey this year.
Love it.
So my apologies. Anyway, Zach, you were saying?
Anyway,
so do you put sugar though in it? So there's
yeah, of course. There's lots of sugar and lots of dark.
Love
corn
pecans
syrup.
and sugar.
Yeah. It's actually oh shoot. Who's that lady who made she ate lots of butter?
Paula Deen?
Paula Deen. It's actually Paula Deen's pecan pie recipe this year. I
Without the racism?
Changed it up. Yeah.
Or
well,
the butter?
My problem is it's actually too light.
Oh.
It almost looks white. The filling, whereas I want it to be a very dark color between the nuts, and it's not. and so I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Paula Deen's recipe.
I do have to say that touches me that you're making sure the nuts are going to be a little lighter, but
I
more
want
so
the nuts
that
to be dark.
And more so that you remember that I love your pecan pie and you make me a special one in a special bowl.
Yeah. Well, every year I usually give you the.
I get the leftovers.
The leftovers.
But here's the
yes.
thing:
but now I make more so that I can make sure. So this year I had more leftovers, and I made this giant burned turnover pastry thing that was actually really good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Have you had those extra crispy Cheez-Its or extra toasted?
What you mean, burned Cheez-Its?
Yeah, just cooked a little longer. They're freaking amazing. They have this
sold
smoked
separately?
cheese flavor to them.
Oh
my gosh, they're so good.
Sounds good.
They have MSG in them, so.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if they're as good as Widows the movie, but it's a.
We haven't seen Widows. So
yeah,
you
Zach,
can't make that
have you tell us
comparison.
we see it? I talk about this movie for 10 minutes. You don't even fucking tell us if we should see it or not. I'm here talking about pecan pie. You're not even talking about Widows. You're talking about ladies whose husbands die.
Wow. Ladies.
Steve McQueen's ladies' husbands die. I would recommend seeing Widows. I actually think this is probably one of the best movies I've seen this year, hands down. This is and it's quick. It's 2 hours, so it's not it doesn't.
That's quick now. You did see Crimes of Grindelwald today, so yeah, you're right. That's quick.
Yeah, especially compared
You've
to
been watching
the other
Titanic on repeat?
Well, I guess given that it's Steve McQueen, the guy who did 12 Years a Slave and Shame and Hunger, they're longer movies. This is pretty quick. And I didn't know it was based on a BBC series, so that's pretty cool. Or ITV, whatever, British television. But I would check it out. And Elizabeth,
Coat bastards.
Elizabeth Debicki in this film, guys, is fucking great. I don't
mean
know.
Always?
I didn't know who the fuck she was until this movie.
Why?
Other than A Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Oh,
So
okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I don't remember her from Guardians
The
of the
Night
Galaxy.
Manager? Where have you fucking been the last 3 years?
With my head up my ass. Where do you think?
She's the leader of all the gold people.
Oh, okay. No, she's Well, but she'll blow your guys' minds away.
Oh,
she's great.
wow! You finished that sentence. I got really excited.
Yeah, she's really good. She's the character you're not expecting to.
That's a weird pause there.
She's the reason I want to go see that movie.
Yeah. And then also Michelle Rodriguez, who I'm not usually a big fan of. She's great in the movie.
I usually hate her.
Does she look pissed
looks
a
good.
bunch of times?
She does, but for good reasons.
Okay. All right. Next movie.
Yeah. So and then the last. The last thing I saw was actually with Brad, because Brad and I got to go to see Mystery Science Theater 3000 live.
Ooh.
And the movie they did was called The Brain.
It was just
I don't know if I can even describe it correctly. Brad, is the brain what the fuck is it?
It's a brain with a face, and it eats people.
Yes.
And it tries to convince them to do things.
And it takes
Is
over...
it googly eyes?
Almost.
Yeah. But
Yes.
I will say this, that puppet's interesting looking.
You know the face of Critters?
Yes.
Imagine that on a brain.
Yeah. Sold.
But
right.
yeah, no, the brain...
And it doesn't start with that face. It starts out looking like a brain, giant...
Yeah, and then it grows.
And then the face pops out, after it eats one person.
Yeah.
What? Oh, it's evolving like the mummy? Every time it eats somebody, it gets more people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's taking
But it only
over.
happens once.
And it's taking over 3
Aw.
different scientists who are using it to control the rest of the town. This movie's all over the fucking place, which is why it's great for him as T3K.
Yeah. There's some scientist evangelist, and he's just...
The scientist that's an oxymoron.
Yes, it is.
Yes, which is why it's perfect for him as T3K.
All right, so Professional Creeper has his own TV show.
Yeah.
And he's trying to convince... He's trying to mind control everyone in town, and he's helping the brain do it. Meanwhile, this high school kid, I don't remember his name, and his
I like high
girlfriend,
school kid.
yeah, just random high school kid, who's a big prankster, by the way.
Yeah.
With sodium.
He sodium, and he takes some he's in a meeting and he's being told that he needs to get in line. So he turns
Or he's
around.
gonna get expelled.
Yeah, but so he leaves. But when he gets up, they all stand up, and he gets some super glue and he puts it underneath the principal's seat, and then he says, "Oh, I'm gonna leave, but you guys can stick around." And then that becomes a running joke throughout the entire fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh god, they're really good with it. It was MST3K Live, guys. It was fucking great. The best part about it for me was Joel Hodgson was there to do some riffing. So,
cool.
The two guys who were doing Crow and Servo were great, but they are not the ones who are doing it in the revival. It's not Hampton Yount and Baron Vaughn. But they're excellent puppeteers. Actually, one of them liked a bunch of my photos on Facebook from the event, or Instagram.
Show off.
And then they also had a game show component to it instead of doing the normal in-between stuff. So that was pretty fun. The whole gag was like how many references can you do in each session of riffing before they leave the theater each time? Yeah, it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I've always wanted to see that thing live, so that was a lot of fun.
Cool.
And then Brad and I got pizza afterwards, and it was fucking dope.
Oh, that's a cute date.
That's not a movie.
Hands?
The only reason those guys liked his photos is because after every Instagram post, Zach puts "I'll suck your dick" at the end. if you like this post.
So you have been following my Instagram posts.
Brad, what you been watching?
So I saw The Brain. It was an MST3K thing. Yeah, that was fun. I'd seen Joel Hodgson at the other one last year, so it wasn't like he hadn't been around,
No, he'd been doing like Cinematic Titanic and other things too, but
yeah. But yeah, it was a fun show. I'm stalling to look at my thing.
You're stalling to look at your what?
My list. I didn't have it open already.
That was a good catch, Zach.
I know.
Man.
All right, everybody, just start my thing.
It's so big.
Thank you. I've been grooming it. Gross.
Tell us all about it.
All right. So the first thing I saw, other than The Brain, was
See, The Brain is also a dick joke. See how it ties in.
It does. Hanging brain.
I saw Overlord, which I didn't get to see
nice.
the show last week.
Nice.
Cool. Did you like it?
I like the aesthetic of it. The story wasn't like this is an example of where a movie's ruined by the trailer, whereas like because of all the Nazi experiments in the trailer, I assumed that I was going to be surprised by something at the end. And unfortunately, that's all that there is like they're weird Nazi experiments and the movie's over. So that part of me is like a little disappointing. So if they had sold the movie as just like, hey, it's a German World War II movie,
people would have been pissed.
Well, like they could have teased like some sort of mystery, like what are they doing in that broadcast tower?
Yeah.
So
if they hadn't sold it as Nazis and zombies, if they'd just been like
not
Nazis,
zombies.
yeah,
it's weird.
well, right.
Two elderly World War II veterans. Come on, let's go see this movie that honors our sacrifice. Yeah. What the hell?
Well, because it's a genre that has like an expectation for you to be honorable to the actual history, unless you're doing something campy.
Yeah.
So,
but then also like the transformation of that one guy where his like spine whips backward, his head goes the other way. Like that's something that was in the trailer, and that would have been like really cool.
Was it? I guess
I don't remember the trailer.
I've seen two trailers for it.
I haven't seen the movie, and I know the shot you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just kind of disappointed that there was nothing like surprising. It was just like it's kind of paint by numbers, exactly what I expected it to be. And then I saw the new Neil Breen movie. Which, I don't know, I think 6 years ago I saw Fateful Findings.
Which we still got to do a commentary on.
I'm like, what is he talking about? Oh, that movie.
Yeah, so he's back with another terrible movie. The thing that blew my mind, though, is that I think I was the oldest person in the theater, and that theater was, I think, almost sold out.
Wow.
There's a lot of, like, the generation after millennials, Zennials. Gen Y, Z, whatever.
Gen Z.
Bajillions.
Everyone in there was like 10 years younger than me.
Punk kids.
Yeah, punk kids.
Yeah.
And they were so into it. Like, they were just laughing their asses off. I mean, it is funny how bad it is, but it's also just like, I can't imagine, like, the people in it's, like, dedicating that much time to this thing where, okay, so Neil Breen is this guy. I don't know what he does, but he's able to make movies like this. And this one, he is playing the twins, which is the twisted pair. And it starts out with...
I don't know if I want two of them.
It starts out with stock footage. Most of the movie is him on, I think, Arizona campus, or him green screened into stock footage. So there's stock footage of like two young boys playing with their dog at the beach, and he's narrating over it about how, you know, they grew up together and had a great time, and then they were abducted by a master alien race of beings who imbued them with powers, but his brother couldn't handle it, and so he was rejected from the society, and like cast aside, and then the good brother, you know, gets to save the world and lead a normal everyday life. Apparently jumping really high on green screen to like 10th floor ledges and like helping army men like defuse bombs. That's also stock footage that he's green screen on top of. Yeah, it's hard to describe unless you've seen his other work, but just imagine like really long, awkward. Oh, and then early on in the movie, the good version of him, like the good brother that he's playing, sees a woman on the street, and then he bumps into her, and then immediately tries to ask her out, and then she says no, but he's like, no one says no to me, follows her home,
Okay.
breaks into her house, assaults her, makes out with her, and then she's in love with him.
Whoa!
Yeah.
This movie is problematic.
Yeah, and then later on you find out, like, even though they're like madly in love after this one incident,
Rape.
She's it's rape. She's involved with the bad guy, which I don't know. He just holds diamonds in his hand.
Yes,
and has like a distorted voice through like Apple voice changer, whatever.
iVoice.
Yeah,
Steve Jobs' ultimate.
I don't know what his plan is.
creation.
He's just the bad guy, and he's constantly just kind of sitting at a table, and like he has a chalice full of fake diamonds, and he's just kind of grabbing at them and holding them, and they fall out, and that's how you know he's the bad guy. Yeah,
man, I'm so rich I could drink diamonds.
It's just so insane. Oh, and there's also like this otherworldly place where when he has his powers, he goes. It's just amazingly.
He's like Tommy Wiseau if he knew how to use a computer.
Yeah. If Tommy Wiseau knew how to green screen himself into stock footage, or just hang out on Arizona campus all day, like the same. Like, there's also a part where he goes and like stops whatever bad things happening at like this oil refinery, and it's just like these slow pans of an oil refinery, and it's like then his green screen character will like run into frame and then like stop and then zoom up to the top like the Flash, and then not do anything, like he doesn't turn a lever or nothing, but then all these like green screen explosions are recycled over and over again with the same sound effect, and then he'll just jump off that ledge and that'll blow up, and then he'll jump onto the next ledge, like zoom, and then that'll blow up, and
able to leave tall buildings in a single bound.
Yeah, that seems like that's the extent of his powers, is he's able to just jump really high. Like he can't even fly, he just jumps. But the audience loved it. They like clapped every time he did it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite an experience. Shit. So that's Twisted Pair, and I'm contemplating buying it from his website so you all can enjoy it too. I have Fateful Findings. I just need to get around to watching it.
Yeah.
I gave Mandy another shot because it was the midnight this week at the Esquire, and it was better the second time around because it's that phenomenon of like the second time you watched it, it's faster. My biggest thing was telling you not to see this because it feels so slow. But it seemed faster for me, but it's also like I was sitting there at the hour mark. I think it was the hour mark. It certainly felt like it, of like, oh, Mandy's not even dead yet. So crazy Nicolas Cage journey hasn't even begun. And but I think after that, it does feel more accelerated because he's just killing and killing and killing. And I'm not sitting there like wondering what's going to happen. I just know what's going to happen.
Nice.
So I don't know.
I mean, I'm still going to see it. Like I said, I can get it at Redbox.
It's got such an interesting mood and aesthetic. I think it's probably worth a watch. But
it'll probably look great on your TV too.
Yeah. It's very colorful. Then the last thing I saw is a sci-fi movie called Prospect, which was at the Denver Film Festival, but I didn't get to see it until... So at the Denver Film Festival, my last movie, End of the Apocalypse, the projector died like 5 minutes into the movie, so they gave me a voucher to see something else. So I saw Prospect. It's a sci-fi movie about a father and his daughter, and they're like they work in space, and it's not quite clear what they do, but it's some kind of like fixing things. They go down to this planet, and there's like an accident with their pod, and they can't get back. And they're poor, like they don't have a lot of money, so they kind of have to like do this one job to fix the ship and get back. And shortly after they're down on the planet, they encounter some other miners, who like there's a misunderstanding, and they end up, he and his daughter, and then there's the other two miners, her father and the assistant both kill each other in a skirmish. And so the other miner and the daughter are kind of, he's injured, so they kind of need like her to help him, and then she needs him to find a way to get off the planet because the ship's broken. And it's a cool, like, they basically just shot in like the Pacific Northwest, but then they put like an orange filter over it, and then there's always kind of this like floating dust in the frame, so it feels like a little bit like an alien world. And it's an alien world, so they're always like, they're always in like space helmets, and they have to deal with like air filters and stuff. And they speak in a language of like you understand it, but they also kind of tweak things. Like the med kit has like a different name and stuff, and they have kind of a little slang for the work that they do. But it's a very small scale story. Jay Duplass actually is a producer on it, and I think he's the dad. So it's like one of those Duplass brothers, Mumblecore, yeah. But anyway, so like, you know, the miner who kills her father, like they eventually like come to an understanding and realize like, you know, what they need. You know, like her dad was basically stealing from them while they were stealing from him. So it's kind of like a gray area of morality of like, you know, they were defending themselves. And then, so there's this like, this is the thing that they're mining is underground. There's like these alien creatures that they're like the alien face grabber pods without the legs. And then if you do the special procedure, like you distill the egg sac or whatever, there's like some kind of mineral inside that everyone's trying to harvest. And there's this really big one. They find like this
space pearls.
So yeah, and then like the journey that they go on, and like the aesthetic of the world is pretty interesting. So
it looks cool.
Yeah, I expected it to kind of be mediocre, but I actually enjoyed it a lot. So
cool.
Recommend it.
Neat.
Prospect.
Very cool.
And that's it for me.
Cool.
James?
Just a couple things. I while we were out of town last week, got a chance to rewatch Bandits, which is only on DVD. And I realized the reason I don't own it on Blu-ray is simply because it's not on Blu-ray. Because that movie is still incredible and holds up so well. So it's Bruce Willis, Billy Bob Thornton, and Cate Blanchett. And the two guys break out of jail and start robbing banks by kidnapping the bank manager the night before and then just going with him to the bank in the morning when there's like nobody you have to worry about and like it's really easy to do and like, you know. And then Cate Blanchett happens. And like
as she does,
that movie is really great. It's funny how long it takes before, like I was watching it, I was like, man, Cate Blanchett still isn't in this movie. And then of course, when she pops up, like the whole movie changes.
Yeah, dynamic's totally different,
and it's still so good. I hadn't watched it in a long time, and it's so worth checking out. Like that movie just stands out.
I would say forever. I think I have it on DVD, but I don't.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's great.
I don't check my DVDs as often as I used to.
Still really funny, tight script, like a really good reveal at the end. I won't say too much, but like, anyway, it was really fun watching it with somebody who'd never seen it before. Because when stuff happens at the end, she was like, oh, like, she got there just in time.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect little reveal. So anyway, I also on a flight this week, got a chance to watch Deadpool 2, which was perfectly fine on a plane. It was on Delta, which those screens are really good, and like watching a movie on those flights
I think
is
I've
fantastic.
flown Delta in like 18 years.
Yeah, I was
Do they
flying
still
to
give you wings?
New York, and they didn't give me shit. No, they didn't. They gave me great little cookies, and I got to watch a movie. Anyway, Deadpool 2 was great. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny.
Did you seen it yet?
Did you not see
No,
it in the
I
theater?
still hadn't seen it. No,
Wow.
I never did. Yeah, I own it. I watched it on a plane though.
You should have waited for Once Upon a Deadpool.
No. I was actually pleasantly surprised at how much of that movie like matured in a way. Like the actual, when you boil down like what that movie is sort of about, like the driving plot of that movie, like that's a real superhero story that just kind of works. And then of course, there's all the Deadpoolness of it that I think is great. Like it's one of those where like the stakes actually seem high,
Yeah.
but then of course, near the end you remember like, oh no, the stakes aren't high at all. Like it's all fine. But I thought it was great. Everything about it, like all of the Domino stuff to me was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Like the way they used that. Sometimes it was just like big CG moments, but some of her little lucky moments, I was like, that's really smart. That was a cool way to use her talent. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny. And not so crass that I couldn't watch it on a plane. I mean, the baby legs part on a plane was a little uncomfortable, but great.
Yeah.
Does the plane version have the killing baby Hitler at the end?
No, because it's not the super dope edition. It's just the
the
super
theatrical.
duper edition.
like
It's
super
just the
dope
regular. Yeah, well, that's just me because I say super dope all the time. Yeah, so it's just the regular version. I own the super duper edition, but just hadn't watched it yet. Because Brooks has never seen the first
I
one.
wish they kept that in the movie.
I know, that's the best
Yeah.
part.
Oh yeah, when I got to the end, I was like, why isn't that like? Why
I
not?
thought the Green Lantern part was the best, but then I saw the baby Hitler
Yeah,
stuff, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so dark.
You finally made it, kid.
Oh, this is so hard. This is me easy."
I also got a chance to catch up because I've got my list of things I gotta try to fix before the end of this year because I missed so much. And by missed, surprisingly, a lot of the stuff I missed, I'm like, I don't actually care.
Well, you didn't see 135 movies like I have?
No, I didn't. I missed some things like, do I need to see Ocean's 8? No, I don't care that much. Do I need to see Widows? Yeah, I actually do care. I also felt like I needed to see Upgrade, so this week I rented Upgrade.
Oh, Better Venom.
Hell yeah, Better Venom. That movie's really good.
No, I really like Upgrade.
I'm surprised. I just watched it because I was like, well, let's just throw something on and whatever. I was just working on stuff, and it was sort of at first just on in the background, and within 10 minutes I was like, this shit is like well done. And I think it's definitely worth checking out. I think it's a cool action movie, little idea, like it's like the perfect example of a Blumhouse film where there's a lot on the screen, but you also know it's a low budget film, but you don't feel it, you know?
It immerses you enough.
Yeah, right. Like, I think the ideas are really cool. The action scenes are really cool. Love the car chase. I think the ending is the reason why I think that movie is great. If they'd copped out, I would have been disappointed. But where they leave you, I was just like, fuck yeah, that was great. I can totally walk away and just be like, what a neat little idea.
Yeah.
Like, what a great Twilight Zone episode. Which is exactly what it feels like to me.
I haven't seen it since theater, but I was surprised that Lee Wannell directed it.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy he was the co-writer and creator of Saw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Cool.
also he's part of the
Insidious.
Insidious thing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I haven't seen Insidious 3 yet either, so like I didn't really know what his directing style would be like, but
it's good.
Upgrade fucking great, so.
Yeah, I mean, the way he shoots all that, like, fixed camera stuff, I found really effective.
Yeah.
Especially, Yeah, like bizarrely, because
Yeah.
usually that gets wasted
It's
as
one of my
like,
favorite movies from this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those action scenes were wonderful, and the the actual reveal of the plot of that movie when you finally figure out like the universe and how that world works, I was like, oh, this is really smart. So, and then the last thing was I finally got a chance to watch Incredibles 2, another one that I missed from this year, because I think that was literally like either the week of the wedding or while I was on the honeymoon or something like that.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was the week. It was the week of Comic-Con, and then the wedding was right after.
Right,
so.
the wedding was the next week. Like there was no time.
Yeah, so we all saw it eventually.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Well, I would say you should check it out. I think it's flabby. Like it feels like there's a lot of really funny stuff, and it's definitely worth watching. I think it falls short of being great because it's got some little ideas that could have made for a really good Pixar movie where it's a Pixar movie that's a superhero movie at a time when, the first one was early when there weren't a lot of superhero movies. I kind of expect them to say something, and there's the bones of a really good lesson here. I mean, especially this whole there's some really good ideas.
Like the villain was like kind of like it was there because it had to be.
Yeah, and it's too bad because the idea of Screenslaver, there's some neat stuff there, but it's like the puzzle pieces of that villain don't fit together.
Yeah, it's just like it could be anybody. Let's just pick that character to be the
right.
Yeah,
and it's too bad because I think the backstory has some good themes, but those don't relate to what the villain is doing. And that doesn't quite relate to the villain's ultimate plot. And so, they just don't fit. But at the same time, I thoroughly enjoyed it the whole time I was watching it. And, I mean, I think the family itself is the reason you're watching the movie. And so, unfortunately, it just falls short of being an amazing, smart film. It just becomes like, oh, this is fun. It's like... No, I was going to say it's like Monsters Inc. or Monsters University, but then I went, no, because Monsters University has exactly what I'm talking about, where there is a really good lesson and something to be said, and it ties out so well that you had a great time, and when you get to the end and you get the medicine, you're like, oh, man, that was great. This is one where it's like you had a great time, and after the movie's over, you realize there's medicine spilled on your shirt, and you never ate it. That's what it feels like. It's like there was something there, but you never quite delivered. So I mean, it's good. You should definitely check it out. I mean, kids will love it. It's probably better than most of the animated movies that are going on. Holy shit, I'm sure it's better than that goddamn Grinch movie. Those trailers look terrible.
We should start rating movies that way. So, Zach, should people go see this movie? No, it's too flabby. No.
Well, you know what I mean. It just wasn't tight.
Big old flabby thermometer on the site.
For an animated movie, I don't expect them to have as much fat as this one has.
On a scale of,
you need to trim some shit out.
On a scale of fit to love handles, I'm gonna give it
I'm gonna put
middle
a big
of the road.
Flabby tomato on our website.
But anyway, that is pretty much what I've been watching.
I watched a few things. I watched 12 Angry Men.
Hell yeah,
Criterion.
you did.
Wow, yeah.
That's a great movie. I haven't seen it in a while. I forget how fast it moves.
Do you have the Criterion?
Yeah.
Nice.
For just a movie that's set in one room, it moves really quickly. All the actors are on point. If you don't know what 12 Angry Men is, it's about a jury trying to decide the fate of a first-degree murder case, and one guy is holding out, and he's trying to convince the other guys that there's enough reasonable doubt to believe that the person commit the murder, and throughout the whole thing, they're doubting him, and then the reveal at the end about the dad and his son is just awesome.
And I think it's one of those where that plot has been stolen.
Oh yeah.
You've seen people reuse it, but that movie still holds up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was one of those rare black and white movies they'd show. They showed in middle school and stuff like that. Like our social studies teacher showed it to us, and that was the first time I ever saw it. It's fucking great.
Yeah, no, it's a fun movie. The Criterion's pretty solid as well. I got it a while ago. I didn't watch it till this week. Continuing my Cary Grant thing, I watched The Bishop's Wife, which is kind of like It's a Wonderful Life. The Bishop's Wife stars Cary Grant and Loretta Young. Loretta Young is the wife of a bishop, and the bishop's trying to raise money to build a new church. And he's visited by Cary Grant, who plays an angel. And through the whole film, the bishop is so concerned with wanting this new church, he's losing sight of loving his wife and his family. And Cary Grant has taken his wife ice skating and showing, and the bishop knows that Cary Grant's an angel, but doesn't quite believe it. So there's Cary Grant is really great in it. He and you can't quite tell if maybe he's being like a little I don't know what the right word is, but he's playing like it feels like maybe the wife is falling in love with him, but it's not really what's happening. It's Cary Grant's angel showing the bishop what he's missing out in life by trying to build just this church, and he's only caring about money.
Well, he's playing. I mean, so full disclosure, I haven't seen this film, but the way you're describing it to me, it sounds like he's doing the see how you can live your life. Now I'm going to move on to the next town or whatever.
Yeah. So basically, Cary Grant shows up to help him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is what you're missing, and this is what you need in your life. You don't need a new church. You need to love the stuff you have.
Right.
And it's a pretty solid film. It had a lot of production problems. I was just doing some research on it. Produced by Samuel Goldwyn. Originally, Cary Grant was playing the bishop in it, and then they switched roles.
Yeah.
And
which isn't uncommon to hear.
No,
but
and it's really fascinating because you can see Cary Grant helping people throughout, and he just focuses on this family. It's a cute film.
It's one of those. It's one of those. I mean, I haven't seen every black and white movie in the world, and this is obviously one of them. But when I hear Cary Grant as an angel, for some reason, I'm thinking of a '90s comedy in my head.
Yeah, it's
hello, darling, I'm gonna save your life.
The only thing it's missing, why I think it doesn't quite reach It's a Wonderful Life, is it doesn't have the fun from the main character like Jimmy Stewart is.
Yeah.
In It's a Wonderful Life, where he's down throughout. I mean, in Wonderful Life, he's down almost the whole movie.
Yeah.
But he needs that push, and you have the joy with him.
Right.
I never quite got it with the other dude.
George is a stick in the mud, but he's not unwatchable.
Exactly.
Whereas it sounds like the bishop's not.
Yeah, but it's a fun movie. It's one of those ones that kind of slipped through the cracks at Barnes and Noble.
Is it on that DVD thing?
No, it's on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I watched Cary Grant. I guess it was last week I watched Cary Grant DVD. But the Blu-ray looks pretty good. It's pretty solid.
I guess I'll have to check this one
You should.
out.
I'll let you borrow it.
Yeah.
Just remind me. I also, because I was missing Stan Lee, watched Mallrats. Mallrats is still really funny, especially if it's been a little bit since you've seen it. I've seen it so many times, I still know the beats, but I picked up on a couple things. When they go to the dirt mall, T.S. puts on a clerk's hat. I don't know how I missed that before.
It's at 4K. You finally see.
Probably. And I still think, even though I think Jeremy London's not very good in it, or is it Jason London? I always get those two mixed up. Is it Jeremy London?
It's Jeremy London.
It's Jeremy.
It is Jeremy. I still love his line where he's like, "She's fucking dead." I think it's one of the best line deliveries in the film. And Michael Rooker is really great in it.
We talk about smash cuts all the time, of Spielberg and stuff like that. But one of the greatest smash cuts ever is you're being a complete ass, and then it cuts to Michael Rooker's ass.
Yeah. And you forget that it's Jason Lee's first movie, and he's so good in it.
Oh, he's so confident in it.
He understands how to deliver Kevin Smith dialogue better than I think anybody. Him and Ben Affleck are Kevin Smith kind of understanding.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the Stan Lee stuff's wonderful. And I actually think one of my favorite, I still use it to this day, Ben Affleck is, "Who's your favorite new kid? Call me Joey." It's so stupid, but it's awesome.
Hold on, I love that. I tell you what you need is a fatty batty blunt. And I think you can see a sailboat, some big titty mermaids, and all that shit.
Yeah, it's a fun film. It's a high school one I always loved.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I watched The Princess Bride. My little boy wanted to watch a fun movie, so I picked that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, so it's a new 4K scan from Criterion, and it looks stunning. I mean, there's things
even in the menu.
Yeah, the menu. So there's parts. You notice it's not a 4K Blu-ray, but there's things you notice in 4K. Not everything looks great. But when they have a new 4K scan, you can see stuff in their costumes. Humperdinck's costume is where I really noticed it. Buttercup's red dress really popped. And what I love too, what Criterion does is they keep the level of grain in it, so it keeps it looking like a film. but just sharper.
Yeah.
And the movie's so great. I love the lead up, the 3 fights that Dread Pirate Roberts has. When he's talking to Inigo, and it's when they're just having the one-on-one.
Yeah, their banter. Yeah,
banter's great. And then even Andre the Giant, where he says, I missed you on purpose.
I don't have to miss.
Yeah, and he says, and Carrie always has a great line. He says, "I believe you," and he says, "Sportsmanlike, or I could kill you now." And it's really great. And him amusing Fassini, how smart he is, and how dumb. It's like, and I choose. What in the world could that be? He's just like giggling, and
I saw that GIF earlier on in the week when you made that post.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and it's so like, this is how clever Goldman's script is, and he's talking about how deadly iocane powder is, and then Buttercup says, all that time it was your glass one. He's like, no, I poisoned both. I developed an immunity to it after he just got done saying it's the deadliest stuff in the world.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
You dug into the features yet?
Yeah, they're awesome. They have a few new ones, but they do have a great round table with William Goldman and a couple of the other creators of it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's one of my favorite movies, and every time I watch it, it's reaffirming how great the movie is.
Yeah,
because you can catch little nuances throughout the film, and then watching it on Criterion, it's like watching Night of the Living Dead. You watch it, and it just looks it's stunning, and the packaging in it's amazing. So I wish Criterions weren't always so expensive, and I'd get more of them.
Yeah,
but it's if they do movies I love like this, then it's totally worth it.
Yeah. And they use that to fund them, saving films that nobody cares about.
If you get it at the right time, like I think it's like $19 I paid for Princess Bride. I know Night of the Living Dead was $16.
Yeah.
There's 50% off sales right now.
Yeah. So I mean, you can get it for $20 at Barnes and Noble, and it's totally worth it. And you're right. So it pays for the stuff like I could care less about the French stuff, and so like they announced their February titles, and I'm going, nope.
But at least that way, their whole mission is to go save film and restore film.
And that's their whole mission. You're right. Their whole mission is just maybe taking obscure films or films they think are important. You might not like them, but what they think are important and preserving them. And I think that's an incredible gift that everybody should exploit.
They're doing a Magnificent Amberson's release. I don't know if it's this week or next week, but they're doing that one. That's Wells' second film. Like, it's good because Warner Brothers is just going to let it rot. So.
Yeah, no, and I agree 100%. Yeah.
And even when they do stuff, I will probably end up getting some Like It Hot just because their features and stuff are really good.
That, and it's a new 4K scan, so it's
worth it.
Worth it because
in quotes for us as materialistic collectors.
Exactly, but like I said, you see things that you've never seen. When I watched Night of the Living Dead this year, I've seen that movie so many times I can't even tell you. But the clarity, it's like watching a new movie. And The Princess Bride is stunning. I mean. Because you're so familiar with your favorite movies, and then when you see them, I mean, right at the beginning when she's talking to Wesley and she's, fun boy, but like the greens and everything just is, it's a beautiful film.
If Criterion can keep going on their roll, I want them to get The Odd Couple.
Oh, I'm sure
that would be amazing.
That'd be great.
They've been way more open to modern stuff lately.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Because Breakfast Club's on there now, and
because I know they won't get something like the Sunshine Boys or something like that, but like a Neil Simon thing, I'd love them to try to get.
That sounds like a movie they would get.
Yeah, The Odd Couple definitely. Not The Odd Couple 2. That's a different scenario.
Sorry. One more thing I forgot I watched. Has anyone seen Xanadu? But
yeah, no, of course I have.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was an Alamo party thing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not just sitting at home waiting for me.
It's fucking ridiculous, right?
Well, I always imagined it was the story about like some futuristic space civilization where like they're really into music and dancing and stuff. And no, this is like some allegory to like Greek mythology and.
With Fred Astaire.
I didn't realize it was Fred Astaire until the credits.
Oh yeah, it takes you a minute because he's getting old.
Like this movie's spending a lot of time on this old guy.
Yeah,
but I was just baffled as the other guy is this artist for album covers.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not like musically inclined. He just paints the stuff that he's told to paint. And it's like, why not make that guy a rock star or something? Because he would have more incentive to build the Xanadu Club, other than like, hey, I met this guy who plays the flute on the beach.
Do you know how high they were probably writing that film, dude? Like,
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen it like once, and I remember watching it and going like, okay, I saw
its
that.
reputation precedes it very
Yeah.
much. So.
It's a cult film. I get it. It's got an audience.
Yeah. But I thought it was like a fun audience. Like, my audience did enjoy it, but I was just like, this isn't the fun, like, maybe this should have done better when it was released. It was like, yeah, I can see why I failed.
Yeah.
Just oof.
Yeah. You know, you're right, Brad. That's how I felt about The Wiz.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw Fantastic Beasts 2, Crimes of Grindelwald.
Grindelwald?
Yeah. Who's an English guy, I guess.
We like wizards.
Brad, should people see Fantastic Beasts?
I don't know. Didn't watch.
James, should people see Fantastic Beasts?
I mean, look, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you're just going to go see these movies anyway. What I will say is, I have been consuming a lot of Harry Potter stuff lately. I have a lot of problems. This is maybe the most just fun I had. Like, I was the most okay walking out of this one, where I was like, yeah, that was fun. This was cool, and that was cool, and blah, blah. This movie's like 2 hours of some fun, and then like 30 or 40 minutes of the movie, and the movie is problematic. But, you know, it's worth it to see the fun stuff. But then, yeah, when all of the exposition ending happens, like, I will talk about what my real problems here are. The biggest problem I have with this movie, though, is the biggest problem I had with the last 2 minutes of the last film. So, some really great, smart, cool stuff that she did. But, man, there's just a few things that really dropped the ball. So, anyway, sure.
Zach?
I mean, echoing James, like, if you're a Potter fan, go. I mean, it's part of the story. It's part of this canon that Rowling's developing. And as a Potter fan, like, I had fun with it, but this is the first time, like, so I've read those books, like, countless times throughout school and, like, even into adulthood, and watched those movies countless times. This is the first time as a Harry Potter fan where I got confused. And I don't know if it's because I've stepped away from Harry Potter stuff in the last 2 years or what. I don't know. But stuff felt like missing to me. And then stuff that I expected to happen also felt cloudy because I couldn't really... I don't know. Like, I will say this. As a Potter fan, I was fine with it. As a film fan, I was not too happy with it. But... It's an escape for 2 hours and 15 minutes, so I wouldn't discourage you from seeing it. I don't know. Like, I mean, I will say this though, I liked Jude Law's Dumbledore a lot.
Great.
So, and he has one of my favorite lines of the year in this movie. There's great things in this film that I don't think pay off for me, but that doesn't mean it won't pay off for others.
There are great things in this movie.
Yeah.
I'll actually piggyback off both of you. I'm a Harry Potter fan. I like the movie. I think you should see it. However, I think this is the most dense Harry Potter film where you need to, in so much you need to know the characters' histories to kind of get to there, because there's a lot of backstory there, whether it's Grindelwald or it's Newt. I mean, there's a lot to unpack.
How about... Yeah. Though I shouldn't say that in this. What I will say is, this is the first time I've watched a Harry Potter film and felt the way Harry Potter fans did at all that other bullshit I had to watch.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I didn't struggle with it.
Yeah.
But if you went into it cold, even if you've seen the first Fantastic Beasts, I think you're going to struggle with some of the stuff in this film because it's really deep.
Well, she does the thing that I think she does way too often, which is she puts all of the information at the end, so there are times where you're intentionally lost because she leaves you lost.
Yeah.
And then there are times... But what was cool for me was, this was one where I was watching it and they would, like, name drop something or do a thing, and I was like, I got excited.
Yeah.
For dumb reasons, but I got excited. But then the end of the movie happens and none of that pays off. But anyway, sorry, I'm taking over.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So, you should see it. Here's the trailer for Crimes of Grindelwald.
An address.
What's that?
A safe house in Paris.
Why would I need a safe house in Paris?
Should things at some point go terribly wrong, it's good to have a place to go. You know, for a cup of tea.
My brothers, my sisters, the clock is ticking fast. My dream, we who live for truth, for love. The moment has come to take our rightful place in the world where we wizards were free. Join me or die.
The wizarding and non-wizarding worlds have been at peace for over a century. Grindelwald wants to see that peace destroyed.
You want me to hunt him down? To kill him? Dumbledore, why can't you go?
I cannot move against Grindelwald. It has to be you.
You don't suffer from motion sickness, do you?
I don't do well on boats.
You'll be fine.
Do you know why I admire you, Newt? You do not seek power. You simply ask, is the thing right? The time's coming when you're going to have to pick a side.
No, I don't do sides.
What are you gonna do?
I think it's something.
Newt, you never met a monster you couldn't love.
Let's take him.
That's your brother?
I think that might have been the best moment of my life.
Nicholas Flamel was the one where they said that name and I went, or no, he showed up and I knew who he was and was excited. And then I was not happy with the way that ended. But at the same time, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it's so in the film, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Grindelwald escapes,
sure,
and then he's trying.
Well, I almost said, like, in a cool action scene. And then, but there's a lot of, like, close-ups. But yeah, pretty cool action
No, it
scene.
looks good.
Yeah.
And I'm always a fan of trying something new. I think wizards flying around in rain and stuff looks awesome.
That was a interesting visual sequence.
Yeah.
And I think it did a good job establishing Grindelwald as, like, a guy who's pretty evil.
He's clever in the way he fights in the way that, like, Voldemort never was.
Yeah,
so
and-
things like, you know, filling the carriage
Yeah.
with water and, like, you know, all of that was just neat.
And even, like, his pet that he loved, he just took and just chucked it out.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, it's just showing that he's cruel, and his message, I think, was very fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, if we're going to jump all the way to that, like, when he gives his speech, I was like, holy shit, this is the smartest I've ever seen.
It's the most direct allegory we were getting.
Well, and just the smartest villain moment that I think she's ever written.
And I'll be honest, too, my biggest problem with the first Fantastic Beasts is I thought Colin Farrell was amazing in it.
You and I are going the same direction,
And
sir.
I was surprised that Johnny Depp didn't destroy the movie for me.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
He's underplaying a lot
I
of
was
it.
wrong.
Where were you going?
I was going to say that I think the worst thing about this movie is Johnny Depp. No, let me say that. Johnny Depp is fine. Johnny Depp's not what's wrong. The way that Grindelwald ends up being written is inconsistent to me.
Yeah.
And I think the movie would be so much better if it were somebody like Colin Farrell, because the fact that Johnny Depp is playing Doom, basically, like, he's this cartoonish villain that then when he has this amazing speech at the end,
that's what I mean.
I'm like, why does anyone follow this guy when you're expecting him? I did this voice in the car with Zach as well, where, like, at the end, all of a sudden when he's like, "Remember me? I'm a," like, he's so silly.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He's not a total disaster, because I think the moment. So anyways, he's trying to convince the wizards that being a pureblood isn't everything.
Yeah.
So he has this like monologue, and I'm like, is he actually like selling me on this being the bad guy?
Right.
And then
because his argument is that the regular non-magical people are going on the way. Like, he has this vision of World War II, and he's like, look, this is what they're going to do. Unless we do something, we stop hiding and we take over and control this, they're going to go, like, you see images of the Holocaust, you see World War II, and you're like, holy shit. And that's where I'm like, if this guy was Brad Pitt, or really, if it was just Colin Farrell, where he looks good, he looks like a guy who's got a head on his shoulders, but he can turn on that Fright Night bit every now and then, and those little moments where he reveals his sort of like that evil underneath, but only in the back room, that would have been so impactful and such a mature way to tell the story.
Yeah.
But instead, up front, we get this cartoon villain who kills babies, so that then when the twist, when the turn comes and Queenie switches, I don't buy it at all.
Yeah.
Like, when she walks down there, I'm like, fuck no. Like, even the whole argument there for, well, but she wants to be able to marry him, doesn't work if he's standing next to her.
And she's been around long enough within the series, quote unquote, to suggest that she wouldn't buy Grindelwald's bullshit.
Yeah, right, like they turned her into this blonde, dumb, like, and that's not what she is.
Yeah, like
it's that's what I mean. Like he doesn't make it the disaster, because my favorite thing of the first Fantastic Beasts is this like almost homosexuality play between Colin Farrell and Ezra Miller's character,
which is intentional,
and is intentional.
Yeah,
and because as you learn, Dumbledore also has been.
Also doesn't work because why? Okay, I said this to Brooks after the movie. I was like, if I'm Jude Law, I ain't fucking Johnny Depp. I'm just not.
When they were younger, though.
No,
I mean, I'm fairly sure,
even
right?
the young one. He's got a cartoon evil eye. He looks like an albino, but like a super evil albino, not a real albino.
The Dumbledore character where he's seduced by powerful people, because he had the same thing with Tom Riddle.
Right, but if he'd looked like Colin Farrell, if he'd looked like a good-looking guy,
beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Even if it's a fucked up red eye,
it's less understandable when it looks like the Emperor from Star Wars.
No, I get it, but you can be seduced by power. I mean,
but that's just less interesting to me. As
I get it,
like,
but Jude Law, he's great as Dumbledore, and I think he brings a warmth to the character, which I think I forget who's the actor who played it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Not Richard Harris.
Played it first, but
not Richard Harris.
Michael
Gambon.
Michael Gambon didn't have the warmth.
No, he played him like kind of an evil Dumbledore.
Exactly, where I like the Jude Law version where he's trying to help.
Yeah,
and he's just a normal dude.
And he actually talks. He just kind of comes out and says some stuff in this movie, whereas of course in the Harry Potter movies he just doesn't say anything.
There's actually an article, I don't know if it's on College Humor, where they talk about I should have shared it. It's like why Dumbledore is actually the worst character in Harry Potter.
He's the fucking worst
because he's an asshole. But
no, he's terrible.
Yeah. But I do love. I think Eddie Redmayne is great. I think his character is really good.
The Japanese cat dragon is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like, every time it's on. Oh, you're right. Was it Chinese?
Yeah.
I thought you said it. Well, yeah.
Except for the moment when we
Chinese.
first are introduced to him, or one of the second moments we're with him. So like the scene is they're in the sewer. They find Catherine Watterson's character, and then the other guy, the person the order is following around, collapses to the ground, and then we just slam cut to that cat, and I'm like, what the?
There's a couple editing things in here. I'm like,
David Yates is phoning it in. Sorry. Like, he just is.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't listen to this
done
show.
poorly. And I know he's working hard. It's just like, there's a lot of weird, real, like, just close-ups, and the action scenes are kind of hard to see sometimes.
Yeah.
And not in a cool Michael Bay way. Like, in a man that was blurry kind of way.
Yeah, he did a lot of. Like, another one was when they go to the records in the Ministry of Magic. I don't know why he was so close in everyone's face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't understand.
It was very Tom Hooper.
Yeah, but it wasn't crooked, so it wasn't. It wasn't the Dutch angle.
So it was a little better.
A little better. But yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's probably my least favorite Harry Potter movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I still had fun. I think, and it suffers too from that they want to plan more films, so it's trying to build something.
Nothing happens in the movie.
But then nothing. I mean, the ending where they fire dragon fight.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I don't know.
So that's the part that I was so disappointed. Was like I thought there's a great version of this movie where, like, it's not Johnny Depp playing Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and he has his speech at the end, and then Nicholas Flamel comes in and talks and splits the crowd and creates a war. Like, that's actually because I wanted that guy to do like, hey, you went and grabbed this character out of lore and plopped him down here, and we're gonna get to spend some time with him, and he shows up and tells them to stick their wands in the ground,
but then
fight dragons. Like, it's,
I don't know. At that point, though, it would have made more sense to just have Albus Dumbledore do the same thing.
Well, but except that we know he's not. He
can't fight him.
Yeah, well, yeah, the blood pact thing.
Like,
yeah.
And I think that undertone, like, that part of the story seems really cool.
Yeah.
But again, like, all that happens here is, by the end, your villain, who's obviously evil because he looks like an evil villain.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a chalice full of diamonds that he plays with. Like, he's super evil. He doesn't really, Brad, but it would be great if he did. Like, he's still out there. Like,
yeah,
the only thing that changes is maybe now Dumbledore can fight him, but you also set up that problem in this movie.
Yeah,
I mean, my biggest issue with this ultimately was this was the one time in Harry Potter film history where I felt like there's a lack of focus, in the respect of, like, it has a lot of things to say. I don't know if it knows which one it wants to say at every given moment, but it says it eventually. Like, so the things are there. Yeah. Everything's there. It's not clicking for me, and I don't know why. Like, I mean, like, I love Harry Potter flicks. I mean, like, the first Fantastic Beasts didn't do everything for me, but I enjoyed it enough that I would have wanted to watch it again. This one, I don't know if I'd go back to the theater to watch it. I'd probably wait for Blu-ray.
No, I think most people should rent this at most, to be honest.
But I will say, though, that, like, there are things that I enjoy a lot about this film. Like, I love Dumbledore talking to Lestrange. And there's a great line in there. Regret is my constant companion. Don't let it be yours. Like, I love that fucking line. I was like, whoa, fucking, like, this one great thing in the middle of this thing that I'm still trying to process. So, it's a fucking, like, she's a great writer. There are great things in this. I want her to maybe get a longer movie. I don't fucking know.
No. So my argument is going to be that she's not a great writer. What she is a great idea comer-upper. What she needed was a screenwriter who's actually really good at this shit. Because
I meant just from the scope of story. Like,
right.
I mean, in terms
Her
of dialogue,
story,
action, I don't know.
The building blocks here are wonderful, and the way she's playing with these themes are great. The problem is, and this is my problem with a lot of the movies and the books, but at least in the book, you're having fun for 27 chapters, and then there's just 2 really shitty chapters at the end. And it's very, very similar here, where I had fun for 2 hours, and then I got 40 minutes of, let's talk about the actual plot of this film and explain family trees, literally spending time on family trees, and then, like, showing you all these flashbacks, which is such a shame because she could have set some of that stuff up, and she ends up spending time setting up things that are less important and then doing all the big reveals at the end in a way that just feels like battery. Like, you're just getting hit, and then, like, there's twists in this inside of the reveals that are just...
It's interesting. I always have questions, why is there a baby Dumbledore on the ship? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
So
Oh,
there's
yeah,
just
yeah.
little things like that, which I don't actually believe that Credence is a Dumbledore.
Oh no, it's obvious that why wouldn't? Of course he would lie. Like,
It's because that's why I was just like, well, wait a minute, I don't. That's where I was trying to figure out, like, am I being duped? Like, I don't remember.
No,
in everything that they described in the history of Potter of Dumbledore in
he has a
book
brother,
7.
but
he has.
But it's not him. It's the one that runs the
Aberforth.
Aberforth, yeah.
And the only reason I remember that is that Aberforth is the only reason I forgive J.K. Rowling, because at least she realizes what a terrible character Dumbledore is and creates Aberforth to come in and spend a whole chapter explaining what an asshole Dumbledore is.
Or how selfish he is, at the very least.
Oh yeah, he's
just straight stupid. I mean, if you really take a look at it, how is it that you are actively dying? Man, I really hate the last book. How is it you are actively dying? You know it. You've told Snape to kill you. You know that this is going to be bad for Harry Potter. You go on a terrible mission, and you don't tell that kid the story of why you trust Snape and that you're dying, because that just leads to a bunch of fucking problems.
Biggest villain in Harry Potter.
Dumb fuck. Like, holy shit. He's the worst. Anyway.
You know, in the last book, the train station with Dumbledore and Harry Potter I got really mad reading that.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, he's the biggest villain in Harry Potter.
Well, and it's too bad because the backstory she reveals in that last book that now we're getting to play with is really good. Like, I want to see this struggle where, like, you know, Dumbledore is tempted by this idea, and it sounds like a good idea. That's what's great about Grindelwald's whole argument at the end, and yet I don't buy any of this shit.
Well, I'm not going to try to justify anything, but I can go back to that line that I just quoted that I really like. I've never felt like Dumbledore was ever a character that was, like, too, like, we certainly shouldn't be worshiping him, and that's why I think Gambon does a great job with him in the later films.
No, I don't think I don't think Gambon plays him wrong,
but
he doesn't have the warmth that Jude Law has.
Yeah, or Richard Harris even, but that's a character that's filled with regret and doubt. By that time, there's really no need to redeem Dumbledore at that
and you
point.
Shouldn't.
Even though, I know when you see that chapter in Book 7, you're like, fucking horse shit.
Yeah,
but
I've always had reading the books. I always had a problem with Dumbledore around book 4, because
just put your name in the goblet of fire.
Yeah, well, I mean, eventually, because after Harry suffers, Diggory's death, so the next year he's just a fucking dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because and his only excuse is because again, like Dumbledore.
I didn't want you to read my mind.
Dumbledore's a selfish character who really tries hard to care, but I don't think he's too far gone to like
maybe.
It's an interesting character. It's one that I like looking. I know there's the whole like argument that he is the biggest bad guy.
That's my argument, and it's no one else's.
Well, I'd like to think though that he's a lot more. Well, no, I've seen other people discuss this, like or say it off the cuff. But the issue is that I think Dumbledore is just he's seen where his actions of selfishness have led him, but unfortunately he's unable to break that cycle.
I agree. And I think that's why I think Jude Law is a great choice, because I can't remember the last time I saw Dumbledore smile.
Right.
And Jude Law has this warmth and a smile.
He's charming.
What character was he talking to? Maybe it was the Strange part where he's talking to her and he has this kind of it's Scamander's brother.
Yeah.
Where he's telling him, if they ask you to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
And he has this warmth. He has like this smile and.
It's warmth, sincerity.
And it maybe, they'll reveal why he decides not to, besides Tom Riddle, besides Grindelwald. I mean, maybe there's a reason behind Dumbledore's lack of empathy, I guess, or I don't know.
Because at the end of the day,
he's bad writing on J.K. Rowling's part that she doesn't have a very good MacGuffin or drive for the plot.
Maybe.
Well, Grindelwald is someone that he's loved, and then by the time you get to someone like Tom Riddle or A.K. Voldemort, like it scares the shit out of you to see that again, and so you do anything you can to get rid of it. There's a lot of dynamics.
That's what I mean. There's a lot to unpack. Yeah. That's why I say it's the most dense one, because you need to know Harry Potter, because you're talking about characters that are mentioned in chapters and that never really pop up again.
Nagini.
But that's a snake. But
not in this movie.
No, it's not. Surprise! It's a lady.
Interesting.
Who turns into a snake?
I've seen arguments where it's like, this is so normally J.K. Rowling. Like all of a sudden now white men are keeping Asian women as their pets, and I'm like, wow, man, you really took that and ran with that. Oh wow, okay.
Anyways, next week we're seeing Creed 2 or Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, man.
Because the next week I think we're gonna have to see one of them.
One of them's gonna get pushed, but it's just,
okay.
Yeah.
Or if Anna and the Apocalypse actually shows up at Alamo, I think that would be fun.
I want to see them both. I'm out of town through Sunday morning, I think.
Okay. So whatever you guys think.
I'm down for whatever.
I've heard both are pretty good, so
yeah.
I'm down for Creed Dose.
I'd probably say Creed 2 because I think
we all need to know what fucking happens.
You should do Creed 2 because that way when you see Wreck-It Ralph, it's the second week, and so you might not get a audience of completely kids.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You know?
Yeah, either way.
I mean, you're going to get kids.
I'm going to take Kellen to see it. So.
Wait, I'm not going to get kids.
You're probably
I'll
seeing
make
both of them next week anyway.
10 p.m. showing if I can. Yeah.
No, I mean, I take Kellen to the AMC. Well, actually, Alamo. I don't like taking him to Alamo just because they have that. They're usually, I mean, they're cool with kids before a certain time, but I don't want to be that guy.
You can pretend he's autistic and take him to the Alamo free.
Wow.
No, I usually go to the AMC where it's like $5 for him to get in the morning. But I'll probably take him
the
to
Alamo for all though is a fine place to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the case.
Absolutely. I want him to be a little older. He's actually getting pretty good at watching movies now. So
my only problem with the Alamo for all, like we accidentally went to it for Finding Dory, and they turned down the volume a little bit, and those kids run around like crazy. But my
Creed 2?
Creed 2.
My parents didn't realize that was not how the Alamo was supposed to go.
Thanks for listening. Excelsior.
Face front. True believers.
Bye.
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 Love you, Stan. Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.